But for now, I leave it to Kent. Master Kent, go ahead, brother.
Cool. Hello, everyone. It's similar to last week. What we're just going to do is a very quick introduction to a technique that you can take for yourself, apply it whatever you like. Really helpful thing to do first thing in the morning or before practice. And we're going to be approaching the concept of tackling our psoas. This is the big enchilada as far as how we hold and engage through our core. When people talk about core muscle, this is the big thing that we're after. So it's often where we house a lot of stress and tension and tone, because it basically is our snap knee-jerk reaction to most stress. And it grants a lot of power, a lot of stability. We'll talk about it in more detail after the class on the other side of break. But for now, I just want everyone to lie on their backs, and if you can, situate it so that your feet are at least a knee's distance away from your mat. We need to slide our heel on the floor, so you just want to get rid of that traction. So yeah, shuffle feet closer to me. Yeah, there you go. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be lying down on our backs. And I'll walk around so people can kind of get an idea, but you should be able to get this with cueing. But what we want is first everyone go into your little bridge shape, and we're going to pick a side. It doesn't matter which side it is. And what you're going to do is you've got this aspect of your pelvis. You think about these little bowls within your pelvis. So I'll walk around and show you. Everyone, you're going to think about rock climbing, and you're going to see if you can, you don't have to go into bridge, you can drop your pelvis down. So the idea, that's working way too hard. That's your psoas working. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to hook our fingers into the front lip of your pelvis. And this is called your iliac crest. You're trying to find the very front of that. And if you can, just drop 2 fingers in there. Yeah, it's easier with your fingers. Yeah, there you go. And the idea is we're trying to see if we can sink into that space. So doing it on both sides can be quite hard. So what we're going to get you to do is you're going to just pick a side, get the other hand out of there, and now take a couple deep breaths in. Can you soften on your exhale to sink further into that pressure? And the idea is we're using our abs and our exhale to soften in order to get to the depth that is our psoas. And whatever side you're on, what you're going to do is while you're holding that pressure, you're going to create a little lift with that knee off the ground and see if you felt a muscle pop into your hand. Any positives on that? Anyone feel something kind of trigger there? No? Well, you can keep looking. But yeah, oh, we got some affirmatives. The idea is you're just trying to look for a little bit of activation as that muscle engages. Sue, was that a question?
Yes. No, I got it.
You got it? Okay, cool. And so the idea is, and we get better at it, you just want to keep sinking and trying to create more active engagement just so that you can feel it. And once you have it, you can put that foot back down. You're going to keep a deep breath in. On your exhale, hold the pressure and slide your heel away from you maintaining pressure. The idea is here we're trying to see if we can lengthen the muscle out while we hold pressure. So this is a way of actively massaging and saying hello to our psoas. So see if you can do that. Just take deep breaths in, and on the exhale, go to move. And we don't want to be lifting our legs off the ground. We just want to be dragging our heel. As little muscle as possible, more an active exchange within what you're looking for. So you're going to be on this side, much lower, just deep into that. And exhale is where you're going to find more space. Hi. Yeah, basically just on the inside. Just going to hook into that. And now, so if you put your head down, relax your abs. Take a deep breath in. And then, oh yeah, there you go. Now I know I'm on it, but for you to figure it out, and if you want, use more fingers. You can get mean. Try and rock climb into that space. And if you lift up into my hand, do you feel that kind of pop into your finger? There you go, now you're on it. And if you've figured that side out, maybe try it on the other side. So this is just an introduction, an idea of what it's like to start engaging this psoas muscle, this powerhouse, in a little bit of active release. When we execute on the exhale to slide our heel down, our nervous system is interpreting that we can be strong and long, which is ultimately what we want out of this thing, because it's often short and angry and very capable of holding everything together in not the most ideal or flexible shape. So just a neat thing that you can start to do, because the class that Alex is going to take you through is going to be integrating a lot of things that we've already done. And this is the keystone of functional support through your pelvis your back, and your hips. So just wanted to put that into your brain. We'll talk about what it means. Maybe you can kind of take a sense of what it feels like to do this now, but also maybe through some of the postures that Alex will take you through, you'll notice it wake up, or you'll notice a tug or an engagement through the back or the hip, the pelvis, and we can talk about what that might mean and how you can keep playing and asking for more out of this space. Enjoy your practice, everyone.
All right, beautiful. Thank you, Master Kent. All right, so we got a lot to get through today. It's going to be a beautiful class. It's an integration class, so we have a lot to go through, from the hips through the heart and up into the head. Perfect, thank you. So now I'm alive. All right, so Kelly and I are going to be guiding you. Kelly's going to be on the instruments. We're going to have a beautiful experience today. So we're going to bring ourselves into a good way. Take a deep breath in. And deep breath out. Good. All right, let's get it lined up. We're going to bring our bolsters behind us. We're going to relax with the bolsters behind us, legs open. Take that bolster to the edge, all the way to the edge of the tailbone, and then splash back, relax. Good. We're opening up the heart center, spreading the arms open, legs open. And as we do this again, deep breath in through nose. Exhale long and strong through mouth. Inhale nose. Exhale mouth. Longer and stronger. Now all together, deep breath in. Hold the breath, exhale long and strong out. For 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. Relax again, releasing. 6. 5. 'Open up those legs, open up those arms. 4. 3. 2. And 1. When you're ready, yogis, deepest breath in. We're going to hold that breath, feel that breath. And as we hold that breath, feel that breath, we're going to be here for 1 minute. Remember, you don't have to hold for the whole minute. This is our mindful minute. So as we hold here, I want you to relax as much as possible. Taking in the energy, focusing on the feeling, focusing on the healing. Again, let yourself explore and expand this beautiful concept as we breathe and be, as we relax and receive. 30 seconds, letting it flow, letting it go. And all the way in through nose, and all the way out through mouth. As you're about to exhale through the mouth, we're going to sigh it out in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, exhale, sigh it out. Ah. Beautiful, yogis, that's 10. Ah. 9. Ah. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Beautiful, yogis. Deep breath in through nose. Exhale long and strong through mouth. Inhale, mouth. Exhale, nose. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. Inhale, mouth. Exhale, nose. Beautiful. Inhale, nose all together. Exhale, mouth. Inhale, mouth. Exhale, nose. Beautiful. All together. Deep breath in through nose. Exhale, mouth. Inhale, mouth. And exhale, nose. Inhale, nose. Long and strong through mouth. Inhale, mouth. And exhale, nose. 3 more minutes. Inhale, nose. Long and strong through mouth. Inhale, mouth. Exhale long and strong through nose. Inhale, nose. Exhale long and strong through mouth. Keep opening up your arms like wings, fingers like feathers. Inhale, mouth. Then exhale, nose. Inhale, nose. 2 more minutes. Exhale long and strong through mouth. Inhale, mouth. And exhale, nose. Inhale, nose. Exhale long and strong through mouth. Inhale, mouth. Long and strong through nose. Inhale, nose. Long and strong through mouth. Inhale, mouth. Long and strong through nose. Final minute. Inhale, nose. Long and strong through mouth. Inhale, mouth. Long and strong through nose. Last round. Inhale, nose. Long and strong through mouth. exhale, mouth. Long and strong through nose. Now, deepest breath in, yogis. And we're going to hold the breath for 3 minutes. Letting everything go, letting everything flow. Feeling the energy. As we feel the energy, we're getting more and more used to what this energy is. This is prana. Prana is the nourishment and the nurturing on the cellular level. And as we kumbhak, as we retain the energy, as we hold this energy, we're allowing us, each of us, to be nurtured and to be nourished. I'll keep my eyes on the time. You just relax, focusing all your attention on holding the breath without forcing, without fixing, just allowing and accepting. We're 1 minute. We got 2 more minutes to go. And whenever you're ready to exhale, sigh it out. Don't be shy. And start to breathe deeply in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Keep this current of energy going in your body. That's it. Remember, you are awareness. You are the captain of this ship. The captain is not the vessel. The captain controls the vessel. Just like you, the self, controls your body, controls your mind. And so allowing yourself to breathe and be deeply when you're done allows that flow of energy to keep moving through your body. And that's the intention as we move it through. As we move it through. Feeling and healing. Experiencing the energy. 1 more minute on the clock as you relax and release, letting it all go, letting it all flow. Notice and awaken to your power of your presence in the present moment. 30 more seconds for those still holding. Just feeling this beautiful healing energy as we are awakened and as we're being taken on this amazing journey through mind and body through breath. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful, yogis. Deep breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful. Deep breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. For 10. Singing sigh. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. Now close your lips behind closed breath. Take a deep breath in through nose. And now open your mouth as if you were cleaning your sunglasses with a strong start our Ujjayi. Deep breath in through nose. And strong through the glottis, contract it. And breathe out as if you were blowing out steam, heat, but nice and gentle. Nice and relaxed. For the first minute, just connecting with that Ujjayi breathing, that ocean sounding breath. Starting to focus on relaxing even more. Focusing on the energy, focusing on our tenets, focusing on our principles of yin. The first principle is, are you comfortable? Because nothing will happen unless you're comfortable. So with each sigh, with each sound of the Ujjayi, keep reminding yourself to be comfortable. And then our second principle is, can you seek the uncomfortable? And as you seek the uncomfortable, can you transform it into the comfortable? Can you cultivate a relationship with the uncomfortable and transform it into the comfortable breath by breath? Good, that's been a minute. Now let's close the lips and cultivate the same breath but behind closed lips. And again, if it's uncomfortable, first get comfortable and then seek the uncomfortable. And then the work becomes, can you make the uncomfortable comfortable? That's the second tenet of yin. This is the teaching. This is what we're trying to program. This understanding of this passage, or this pathway, or this pattern as we flow. Good, and for our third minute, can we transition in and out? Can we do one open and one closed? One open and one closed. Beautiful, yogis, 30 more seconds. This is what's going to lead us to our third tenet. Can we relax? Because it's comfort in the body, and that's what we start with because we're doing yoga. It starts on the physical level, and then it moves energetically to the mental. Beautiful, yogis. Take a deep breath in. And now I want you to exhale long and strong towards the ceiling till there's no breath out. And I want you to hold the breath out. I want you to hold the breath out for 1 minute. Now some of you won't be able to do that, and that's okay. Just try and hold the breath out and try and relax. Third stage of our process. And whenever you're ready to breathe in, just breathe in long and strong and exhale long and strong out. And just allow yourself this opportunity to experience what it is to be at the bottom of the breath. It's a very powerful feeling. And this is how we cultivate our yin energy for our practice. A nice long and strong centering at the beginning as we clear the channels, as we open the heart and empty the mind for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Now right into our Brahmari. Deep breath in. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Now we go right into the Om. Deep breath in. Last 3. Two. Good, yogis. Deep breath in. Hold the breath, feel the breath. Connecting once again. And this time you're going to hold up to 5 minutes. And again, it's not about getting to 5 minutes. It's about understanding that the threshold changes. Try not to force it. Try not to fix it. And when you're done holding, sigh it out. Place your hands on your heart center firmly and start cultivating your intention. I am this, whatever this is for you. I am that, whatever that is for you. I'll keep track of the time and call out each minute. And when you're done, just sigh it out And just relax, focusing on your intention. Why are you here today? What brought meaning to your being? In the meantime, just focus on holding the breath, connecting with the breath. Good, yogis, you're at 1.5 minutes. Just let yourself relax, release. As you focus on the feeling, and as you focus on the healing, as you connect with this moment. Okay, 2 minutes. Lighter than light, brighter than bright. Focusing on being whole. Focusing on being connected. And when you let go, just hands on heart center and start focusing on I am this. I am that. Whatever that intention is for you, have the focus of the feeling. As we cultivate our sankalpa, our intention. Why are we here? What brings meaning to our being? What world do we want to live in? What do we need more of in ourselves and in all our relationships, family and friends? And realizing it starts with us. It starts with ourselves. As you let the light in, and you let the light shine through. And you focus on the feeling. And focus on the vision of that feeling. And it all expands outward from the self. And that's you, the real you. Good. For those still holding, you've reached the 4-minute marker. For everyone else, continue to cultivate your sankalpa, your intention, just repeating over and over, I am, and whatever it is for you. Going into that feeling. Going into that deeper meaning of your being. Because the intention is what births all conscious or awakened action. 30 more seconds. Those still holding. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful yogis. Deep breath in all together. Exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful. One more. Deep breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. Perfect. And just let your body relax now, because you are relaxed. Let everything relax. And just relaxing for 3 minutes. Right? You don't need to do anything anymore. You don't need to have anything anymore. We're letting go of the human and coming into the being. So I just want you to focus on the energy within you and around you for the next 3 minutes. As we make our way to the end of our beginning as we start our journey. And we start our journey with an asana. This is our heart opener, reclined on the supported bolster. As we open up our arms like wings and our fingers like feathers, we're stretching all through the fascia of the chest. Again, the longer we spend here, the better. And so just letting everything settle now. Letting everything just be guided by your presence in the present moment. And this is where yoga starts. Yoga starts here. Yoga starts now. Just 1 minute of silence. Just listen to the sounds. That, yogis, take a deep breath in, long and strong through the mouth. Deep breath in, long and strong through the mouth. Deep breath in, long and strong through mouth. Start to rock your head side to side. Feel, feel, feel. Twinkle your fingers like stars. Start to roll out through your feet. And when you're ready, yogis, you're gonna slowly come up. And as you come up, you're gonna take that bolster behind you, and we're gonna sit up on it. Okay, so as we sit up on the bolster, stretch your legs open nice and wide. This is our dragonfly. Like the wings of a dragonfly, our arms and our legs. So I always like to start on the bolster because, again, if you don't do it as a teacher, your students don't do it, or they think it's better to be on the ground. But it's only better to be on the ground if your body is ready for the ground, right? And so as Westerners, we sit in chairs. And so by sitting in chairs our whole life, we don't really have the flexibility right away. So it's always important to kind of take that beginner's mind and always start sort of at the highest level of tension in the hips and then move slowly, slowly. So as you see me doing, I'm just rocking side to side. I'm sitting on my bolster, and I'm just priming the movement. Beautiful. From here, if you would like to go a little bit deeper, right, you just slide off the bolster a little bit. You'll notice that I'll just give you a little bit of a hold, but you're dropping down a good ½ inch by going from the bolster to kind of halfway down the bolster. Good, and for those who feel, nope, I'm gonna be more comfortable without the bolster, right, just slide out in front. But make sure you're on the front of your sit bones. So those sit bones are those little bony parts on your bum. You want to be on the front side of them, okay? If you're on the bolster, you don't have to worry about that because the bolster's propping you. Okay, we're just going side to side, feeling our dangle. And as we feel our dangle going side to side, I'm going to start to set the clock. And as I set the clock, we're going to start to go forward. And as we go forward, relaxing, spider crawling forward, Letting it all go, letting it all flow down towards the ground. Remembering our rules. Are we comfortable? That's our prerequisite. Right? If we're not comfortable, we're not practicing yin. And then our second rule, can we cultivate the uncomfortable and transform in the comfortable, which means can we ride that comfortable edge, the edge being the uncomfortable. So again, that's why we spider crawl forward. That's why we relax the head. That's why we might do a little bit of micro movements until we find the place where we can be still. And by being still, that's when you're literally letting the yin energy, aka gravity, pull you into the posture. So the longer time you spend in the posture, the more permanent for your body it feels. It's also the more intense it becomes. So as you relax, release, down towards the ground, just keep spider crawling those fingers forward. Relaxing down towards the ground. Deep breath in, and deeper breath out. As we open up those hips. In through nose. Long and strong through mouth. Or ujjayi, in through nose. Ujjayi behind closed lips. Or just simply in through nose, out through nose. But notice all those 4 different breaths all have one thing in common. They're all long and deep. Because long and deep, as you know, as you extend the exhale longer and longer than the inhale, you're stimulating the systems that encourage or produce relaxation. So as you start to have sensations, as you start to get antsy, as you start to get anxious, as you start to feel pain, trauma, suffering, by cultivating a long, strong breath, you're constantly putting it to rest. You're constantly putting it into check. If you ever give up on a yin posture, you'll notice that you gave up on the breath long before you gave up on the posture. If you're able to stay in that awareness. So stick with the posture and then focus on the breathing. And if it starts to get too much, just back off. And if it's not enough, you keep going forward. Good, yogis. We're at 3 minutes. We got 2 more minutes to go. Deep breath in and deeper breath out. So relax and release. Good. As you notice, I cooled down the room a little bit, right? Because we're going into a little bit more internal heat now. So allowing us to have that experience all together. Again, focus on the feeling, focus on the healing. Deep breath in, deeper breath out. Yogis, when you're ready, 1 Brahmari to clear. Deep breath in. Deep breath in to come up. Exhale, splash back, release. Tuck your chin, lower down. That's it. Let it go. Good job, yogis. Let it go. As you stretch it out, you're feeling to focus on the feeling. What's happening? How each posture unlocks something new. And as you become more aware of your practice, it's like, what did the forward fold hip opener activate? You become aware of it more and more. Good, yogis, 2 more minutes. As you move your body, as you breathe and be, as you relax and release. Deep breath in, and deeper breath out. In through nose, and out through mouth. Good, 1 more minute. Yogis, and when you're ready, come follow me. You're gonna take your legs to mat width apart. You're gonna flip the bolster behind you so it's right at your tailbone. Good, and you're gonna sit just like this, okay? You're gonna rock your knees to the left side. So your right knee is underneath your left sole of the foot. And you're gonna walk your hands to either side of the mat. As you do that, bring the bolster in nice and close to your hip. Okay? First minute, we're just gonna stay upright, and we're gonna go side to side. And as you go side to side, you're just popping that hip. Forward and back. Forward and back. As you relax and release, taking deep breaths in and deeper breaths out. In through nose and out through mouth. And everything relax. And everything go. As you focus on a cat-cow with your spine. From side to side. Okay, yogis, eyes on me, so you can just look back. So there's a couple options here, right? You can bring the bolster a little bit more this way, so it's more like a V, if you have a hard time twisting, and you know you have a hard time twisting, okay? General twist is just straight on. You lie on down. And then if you're hyper flexible, and you want to stretch, but again, that's why we have that foot there, because if you don't do that, the knee will run, you'll lose the tension. And you can go to the outside edge. Okay? Wherever you choose to do, this is deer twist. Find where the right spot for the bolster is to do, and then you got to take your right ear to the bolster. So no chins, that's right. It has to be a full twist. All right, beautiful yogis. That's it, and just let it twist. That's it, Sue, you got it. That's it. Let it twist. Right, and the more you bring it to the right side, the easier it is to twist. The more you bring it to the left side, the harder it is to twist. Okay, 3 minutes on the clock, yogis, you got this. As we focus on our twist. Deep breath in, and deeper breath out. In through nose, out through mouth. Feeling the healing energy. That's it. Breathe and be. Feel the vibrations. Vibrations. Remember, long and strong with the breathing. Yogis, when you're ready, one Brahmari to clear. Deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful, slowly coming up. Again, we just counter right to the other side. That's it. You don't have to do anything. Just go right to the other side. Trust me. Once you get there, left knee underneath right sole of the foot. Bring that bolster in nice and close. And we start going side to side. Spend your minute. Well done, yogis. This is the way. Through the hips and into the heart. That's the pattern. Through the hips and then into the heart. Again, massage it out. Take the minute to massage it out, trust me. It's good for your body. Arms straight, relax it out. That's it, feel, feel, feel. Deep breath in, deeper breath out. All right, yogis, when you're ready, slowly lower down. Remember, if you take it more toward the knee, it's going to be a lot easier to twist. 50-50, perpendicular, halfway, or a little bit more if you want to do a super twist. Okay? Again, do what works for you. Got 3 more minutes to go. Deep breath in. And deeper breath out. Halfway there. Doing great, yogis. Feel the vibrations Kelly's putting out there. Connecting with the energy. Final minute, yogis. Just relax and release. Down, down, down to the ground. Stretch the breath. Strong with your inhale. Strong with your exhale. When you're ready, yogis, 1 Brahmari to clear. Deep breath in. Listen carefully coming up. Now spend your 3 minutes. Relax, release. Well done, yogis. Relax, release. Moving. Remember, stillness is medicine for your mind. Movement is medicine for your body. So choose your medicine. Choose it wisely. Choose your medicine. Choose it wisely. journey from your hips through to your heart. Now we're going to go up into your head. So this journey, as we've been learning, as we've been isolating it each week, has been its own. We worked on the hips, worked on the heart. Last week we worked on the head. Today you get to experience it as a sequence, as a combo, as a pattern. And as I'll teach you later, it's one thing to learn how to jab, it's one thing to learn how to kick, it's one thing to learn how to headbutt. But if you jab, kick, and headbutt someone all at the same time, it's a very different knockout. And that's what you're going to feel today. And again, that's just the metaphor, a very playful metaphor from your teacher, also the martial arts, right? Because yoga and martial arts, when it comes to the actual physical training, are very, very similar in that way. And these abilities to combine and connect and put sequences into things is really where the variation and the magic begin, not just as students, but also as teachers. And even if you're just teaching yourself, or doing your own practice, you're still a teacher. All right, yogis, let's come up. We're going into the head now. And so again, it might seem counterintuitive, but to get to the head, we go upside down. So we're going to go into what we call snail in yin. I usually call it inversion. Again, you're going to bring that bolster behind you, and then you lie back. Bring your knees into your chest. I should flip this way for our purposes. All right? So again, letting yourself lie back, knees into chest to start. And as you bring your knees into chest, open up your knees wide. Okay, so open up your knees wide and start to move them forward and back. That's level one. Good. Just stay here, just work the knees. We're going to be here for a while, which will be nice. A nice 10-minute hold. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. And if you're not comfortable, get comfortable. So knees wide, just rocking forward and back for the first minute. Bring your breaths. In through nose, out through mouth to release. Long and strong. In through nose, out through nose to regulate. In through nose, out through an open mouth. Ujjayi to release. Inhale nose. Behind closed mouth, which is technically an exhale nose. Regulate. So it's all connected, yogis. Beautiful work. All right, so now we take it to the next level. Again, if any of these levels don't feel comfortable, just go back. So now we straighten the legs. As we straighten the legs, start to point your toes, curl your toes. Maybe opening up your arms out to the side. And start to rock through the hips. Again, curl your toes, point your toes. As you relax, release. And again, you'll notice this rocking of the hips is a familiar movement. We did it before when we worked on the hips as anterior and posterior tilts, forward and backward with the tailbone. But we did it rolling on the ground while we were in bridge pose. Now I want you to experience it in your snail, in your inversion. As you start to lift the hips and drop them, not coming off the bolster, just tilting. Up and down. Beautiful. 30 more seconds, yogis. Feel, feel, feel as we stretch and heal. All right, yogis, now we take it to the next level. So you're going to grab that bolster, and on the swing towards you, so as you bring your knees toward you, your legs toward you, as you tilt your tailbone toward you, forward fold, you're going to very quickly grab your bolster and slide a little higher up. You can lift your hips, to do this, but bringing it a little bit higher. You lift and slide it under, then bring it back. Good. And so now we're gonna chill. Now no more tilting because it's up higher. Now you're just gonna work on straight legs, point toes, curl toes. Relax your head, relax your shoulders. Deep breath in, deeper breath out. As you breathe in, as you breathe in. Doing great, yogi. Stay here. Another 30 more seconds. All right, if you feel comfortable here, you're gonna stay here. But for those who'd like to go a little higher, you're gonna do that move one more time. So tilt, tilt, tilt. And when you tilt towards you, lift your hips and slide that bolster a little bit higher. And you can do it 1 or 2 times. Again, get it nice and high now. Good. Now you'll notice your legs are starting to fall towards you. So you're not quite off the bolster yet, but you're getting it. And so you're getting used to the feeling of moving toward shoulder stand, plow. So as we bring it through, again, relaxing and releasing. Beautiful. Now for some of you, you're gonna stay here. For others, you're gonna keep going. We have 5 more minutes. You can take it any way you want. If you get too uncomfortable, just come back. But again, we're cultivating the comfortable through the uncomfortable. So if you are comfortable and want to keep going, right, bring your arms up over your head like a V, like again, wherever's comfortable. Once you find that comfort, tuck your chin so your neck is nice and long, and then you can start to lift your hips off the bolster, right, coming back. As you lift your hips off the bolster, coming back, you're gonna feel a lot more weight, right? Keep the weight more into your shoulders, okay? Keep the weight into your shoulders. Only roll past your shoulders and your shoulder blades if you feel comfortable putting it higher up into your neck. In order to do that, you have to tuck your chin. Okay, so if you don't feel comfortable, don't go that far. For some of you, you will. For others, you will not. So again, if you're pregnant, don't go too far because it'll flip the baby. Okay, not all the way back. Precaution. There's also another precaution, which is if you're going for the full version, you're on your moon cycle, aka your period, right? You're reversing the flow of energy. So they advise against it. Although a lot of women I know who are yogis do it anyways. So again, it's totally up to you on that part. It's also the same with the inversion. Some women do inversions all the way through their pregnancy and never have a problem. But again, that is to your own discretion. Just letting you know. All right, we're at almost 7 minutes. We got 3 more minutes to go. For those who want to go all the way back for plow, right? You're getting more comfortable. You'll notice me, there's a part where I'm comfortable, I'm all the way back. The weight is in the back of my shoulders. I'm able to straighten my legs, but I'm not jamming it up in my neck. If I do, right, I'm choking myself out. So you don't want to choke yourself out. You want to get to the point where you can be comfortable and long, and then you can stretch it out and through. Okay, so deep breath in, deeper breath out. As we relax it through. 10 minutes. As many of you is new. Breathing in, breathing. you're ready, you're slowly going to come up in a tabletop position. Beautiful work, everyone. You're going to bring the bolster out in front of you. We're going to lie down on it, looking to the left side. Open up your arms wide. You're going to bend your left knee and you're going to cross it over. Now make sure your arms are in a T because you're rolling over your shoulder. Make sure your shoulder's not on the bolster, it's just behind it, right? And then you start to bring your hand and your foot, you start to connect. This is our scorpion tail, all right? As we breathe into it. Deep breath in, deeper breath out as we stretch it out. So Adam, watch me. Your head is to the left. Right, your arms are in a T. Make sure your arms are on the ground, your head's on the bolster. Lift your left knee, and then you slide it over as you roll over your own shoulder. That's it, nice and beauty. I love this one. Take it easy. So look to the left, that's it. That's it. Then use your left arm to help you. There you go, beautiful. And your leg can go anywhere. You can straighten that left leg, you can bend it, you can open up the knee. Again, this is your version of scorpion tail. Beautiful, yogis. 3 minutes on the clock. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. Find a comfortable spot that you can just melt into it. Want to move it around? It's your tail. Breathe and be. And then use that left hand to help you roll over. So you're constantly rolling over. This is what we call contralateral stretching, which feels really amazing for a lot of people because there's not a lot that we do that really attacks one side and then the other side of the body. This is one of those postures that really do it. It's very, very beautiful because it really opens up the chest. So as we get to the first minute, if you would take that left hand up in the air and open up that chest even more, you can bring that left hand behind you too. And again, you can put your hand on your hip, so you're rolling out the shoulder. You can stretch back behind you towards the floor. And again, just opens up the chest. So it allows you to breathe a little deeper. I like to put my hand on my hip, so I can just open up that shoulder nice and easy. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. As we're opening up the hip once again, we're also opening up the shoulder. So we're doing both. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. This is one of those all-in-one postures because we're actually opening up the head too. We're rolling over, getting almost a twist as you look up towards the ceiling. That's it, yogis. Breathing and being. Yogis, and when you're ready, one Brahmari, and then we just roll over to the other side. Do the exact same thing. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out as you roll on over. Well done. So roll on over. Arms go back in a T. Stretch, look over, opposite side. Right leg kicks over, use the right arm to help you. As you roll on over, opposite side. Good, deep breath in, and deeper breath out. That's it, yogis. And that right leg can do anything. It can stretch straight. It can bend. All right, so just let it open up. As you breathe and be. In through nose. And out through mouth. Good. Feeling that healing energy. Halfway there, yogis, doing great. Feel the vibrations. Yogis, one barometer clear. You got 3 minutes to rest. Deep breath in. Inhale, roll back, exhale, relax. Take your time. My suggestion, child's pose, down dog, dangle. All good. That's it, yogis, resting and releasing. apart. Bring that bolster about 3/4 of the way, maybe a little less, 60%. And then you're gonna lie down on it, palms down. And gentlemen, just make sure you're comfortable. This one could be a bit of a problem. So, because you wanna push down on the tailbone. Okay, so again, letting yourself relax as you push down on your tailbone, relaxing. If you don't want to push down on your tailbone, you want a little bit more space, come up, put the bolster on your hips. Okay, but for those who want to come down a little bit more and get more lift, just make sure it's more on your solar plex. All right, perfect. Now from here, what we're going for is our Sphinx. So forearms to the ground, hands down, we're lifting up, the bolster's helping you. For those who want to go a little higher into walrus, you can lift your arms. Now the journey can go higher and higher, right? You can walk back, or you can come more forward, or you can just stay down on your forearms. Either way, you take it slowly, nice and slowly. So make sure your elbows are in line with your shoulders, because you're not using your muscles to lift you. I remember when I started this posture, I used to have my elbows bent like this, my arms just get so sore. And when I was corrected, it was like, oh, it's like a revelation. You can hold forever when you're using your skeleton. That's why, again, in martial arts, the teachers, the master, the higher belts seem like they have this power that's beyond reach for the, the white belts and the yellow belts and the orange belts. But a lot of it is the techniques of what I'm teaching you in yoga. It has to do with the framing, right? Using your skeleton, not your muscles, because your muscles will tire, right? Your bones will not tire. So using your bones is nice and strong. So that's the first minute. If you feel like going a little higher, right? If you were in Sphinx like me, you want to go up into walrus. Those in walrus, if you want to keep going and climbing up, again, feel it out. And again, it's push tailbone down, lift head up. And then we breathe in through nose and out through mouth. 444, which is a magic number in our parts. So if you want to say a little, wish or intention right now, it's an auspicious time. 444 is one of the magic hours. So if there's something you need or some extra help you need, now's a good time to whisper it into the universe. And let's take a deep breath into Brahmari. And exhale, sigh it out, face plant down to the ground. There it is. 3 minutes. Again, you can do nothing, you can do something. This one feels really good, especially with the bolster exactly where it is. Again, it's opening up that chestnut from the front. And grounded. Something next week we're going to explore. We'll see. That's it, yogis. 2 more minutes. And now for the head, our final posture. There's going to be 2 options today. One, Shavasana, lying down, flat on the ground. You can have the bolster underneath your knees. So you're going to splash back, relax. Do your Shavasana, good. Or if you would like, you can sit up on the bolster or on the floor and just find a comfortable seated position. Okay, whatever you choose to do. And this is for our head. So again, 3-part sequence: hips, heart, head. We're just going to be here for the next 10 minutes. Again, nice long practice, nice long Shavasana. As you close your eyes, as you go inside. Deep breath in. Breath in through nose and out through mouth. Cultivating space, perpetuating peace, harvesting your health. gathering your goodness. Focusing on your freedom. Watching your waking. Seeing yourself. Just allowing yourself to completely relax here on the floor. Letting everything go. Letting everything flow. All thoughts, all feelings, all behaviors that arise from the self. Right now, the self is in surrender. And as you surrender the self, the present moment starts to gain power. And this power is your presence, your higher case self, yourself beyond the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, and even the how. It's your spirit. It's your soul. That's why they say the your spirit, the your part is the lowercase self. That's the you that experiences you. The personal that experiences the universal as one. Because they are one. You didn't create yourself. We didn't create the universe. So we're part of creation. And so the more we get to experience this experience, the more we start to trust that which is beyond our self-control. No different than a boat that trusts the gales, not the sails. You can have the best sailboat in the world. If there's no wind, you're not going anywhere. But for the wise, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to be disappointed that you're not going anywhere, that you're not doing anything, that you don't have anything. And that's why in the past, spiritual people had very little, because they could manage being whole with what they had. Too much, and they wouldn't be whole anymore. And so in our modern age, we have a lot. We were given a lot. And we do a lot. And so, as I always teach each and every iteration, it's not so much about changing that. If you change that, that's a lot of doing and having, to do and have less, or to do and have more. that just kind of perpetuates itself. You're trying. So if you just let go of the trying and just be it, which is you have to surrender the trying, and that's the hard part, because that's the mind. And that's why the Buddha said the mind is suffering. So it doesn't matter what you do. You could have the best job in the world. It doesn't matter what you have. You could have one thing, or you could have everything. The stuff you end up owning at some point can end up owning you. So it's just about being. And so however much you need to have and do, and maybe that's what this experience of yin yoga through this program has been all about. The right amount of having, the right amount of doing. And it's allowed you to access your being. When you access your being, you can't unknow what you know. Can't unknow what you know. Once you know, this is what the Greeks called gnosis. What the yogis called gyan. Or even more so, Advaita Vedanta. The knowledge of oneness. Vedanta, the end of knowledge, the beginning of experience, which is a different way of learning. Because it's not about possessing. It's about presence. The more time we spend understanding that the mind, as good as it can be and as bad as it can be, as happy and excited as we can make it, and as chill and quiet as we can make it, will ultimately cause us suffering because it gets attached to the things it's experiencing. That's why being doesn't get attached, because in being there's no attachment. You're just free. You just are. Things are, things be. And all you have to do is be and breathe. Because the breath is a constant reminder of what comes and goes but never leaves. So take a deep breath in. Get as attached to it as you want. It has to go. Get as attached to it, gone. It has to come back. And just always remember that. And if you always remember that, you are free. Nothing will be able to cause you to suffer. Because the breath is the beginning. It's the alpha, it's the omega. We start on an inhale, and we leave on an exhale. We start our physical journey on an inhale. When we are born, we leave the womb, and we take our first breath. And as we leave this world, we leave this world on an exhale. And that's because the spirit, the self, is going from the ocean to the water bottle, and then back into the ocean. And what a journey it was for it to be contained in a vessel, in a container, in you. So with that, yogis, let's place our hands in our heart center. Shanti, 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 shanti. Peace, 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 peace. For the teachings, for the practice, for everything in between. The light in me sees, shares, acknowledges the light in each of you. Grounded in gratitude, in love, with love, and through love. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. All right, yogis. So some of you need a little bit of time to come back. Right? Not that you went anywhere, right? Just meaning like to come back into the human experience. You want to have some tea and some snacks. So I think at this point we all know where to go, except for Genevieve and Adam. If you'd like to join us, there's a table downstairs. You can follow one of us down there and enjoy some tea and some snacks and recharge your energy. We'll come back at 5:30. If you get a chance to thank Kelly, she's going to be on her way out for a festival, right? Tomorrow, today? Is that happening? Yeah. So she's going to be serving a much larger community over the weekend. So make sure to thank her on her way out, because she did, again, another amazing job. Again, it's so much different when you orchestrate it to live music. Like I said to you, in my time in India, I don't think I ever remember recorded music being played at the ashrams, you know? So it was either live or there was nothing, meaning instrumentation or nothing, which was beautiful. I feel like we're cultivating that same authentic experience here. We've transplanted that experience here. So lots of love to everyone. We'll keep the room as silent space. Of course, if you need to whisper to someone, no problem. But just remember, this is a good time to journal. If you had some thoughts and insights, because again, they will leave. And then make your way. We have lots of time, you know us, we'll probably go over. So just half an hour. But if we do go over, no worries. And again, if you need to talk to me, I'll be with you in just a second. I just need to obviously ground myself too. And I'll meet you down at the wood table. So lots of love. And Adam, just connect with one of them. They'll bring you down to it. Just follow them out. Remember, bathrooms on the side. And for those, again, if you need to cultivate some knowledge from your experience, now is a good time to write down in your journals. And we'll get started when we get back. Master Kent will start us, and then I will carry us home so he can get back to the island.
Welcome back, everyone. So, did anyone have any questions right off the bat? I know that was like a blitz. We were trying to get everything in before Kelly had to leave. But with that exercise that we did at the beginning, did anyone have an experience with that sensation that they were kind of fishing for, that like brought up thoughts, feelings, anything that they want to share about like what they were kind of like figuring out and maneuvering when they had their hands like locked into their pelvis? No? Okay, that's cool. So anyways, the reason why I wanted to kind of like highlight that was, it actually, I don't know what he's going to do in his classes, but one of the cool things about that last sequence that we just went through in Alex's class was it actually played perfectly on one end of the psoas, then the other end of the psoas, and then it allowed for both ends to experience length. And it was a really nice way for that space to be unlocked, because the final positions were it in its full expression of length, because we're breathing the whole time, and this is what I'm gonna sort of lace into this like little mini lecture here, is when you breathe, you unlock the potential to gain control over the tone of this deep power within the base of your pelvis and this psoas muscle. So just to describe it, it's a muscle that attaches the very front of your groin all the way up at the top, and it can rotate you depending on the position of your leg. It'll internally rotate you when your leg is flexed. In extension, it'll externally rotate you. Very complicated little nitty-gritty thing, but when people ask you to do core work, you know, when you're like on your back and everyone's just hating life, living through all of these pikes and V-sits, that is your psoas just working, going to town. Most people are like, oh, I'm trying to build abs. None of that builds abs. It's building the core, the depth of your psoas, which is basically just your back being stable and your ability to lift your leg. So what I'm doing right here actually is a perfect example of my back is anchored, it's stable because of all the muscles that are holding it erect, and then I go to lift my leg. That's my psoas just going to town. I can already feel it hating me. But if you do that enough, you'll become acutely aware of this little thing. What it does is it anchors into the basin of your pelvis, and there's Most people will refer to it as two muscles. We don't need to get into the complicated sort of vernacular of that, but it roots into the base of your pelvis, into the little bowl, and from that position, obviously that's a nice spot to anchor to lift your hips from, but it then travels to the very front of your spine, just roughly around your belly button. And so I'll use like one very like extreme example of this. We've all seen it before. Usually you'll see it in women with really wide hips. There's that person who looks like there's a shelf just like on their butt. Like you've all seen this before. That is the psoas unchecked. If this muscle had its way, we'd all be walking around like this. And it's basically the shorter this thing is, the more it's going to drive force this way. So if you can imagine, if this thing is really short and you don't have support anywhere else, it's going to apply a lot of pressure on your lower back. And this is why it leads the majority of back pain and the majority of hip instability issues. And so we want to make sure that we come to terms with understanding what can be done to unlock it, to give it help so that you can progress and move on. Like what was Alex's whole class? Get to the hips, feed the hips, move up into the heart. How can we get the base and the core to then root up into the movement of the rest of the spine? So with the idea of the psoas, I just want you to think about, you can always ask for this thing to release. That little exercise that we did was rooted within just letting it be active through movement, and that can be enough. And when you grant this thing space in isolation, it will then be more open to the function of all the other muscles that govern your spine. So one of the things about the psoas that's really fascinating is we've all understand what the fetal position is. You know, got little Atreyu as our example. But like when we are in the fetal position, we're in like the base root of life. The formation is to be in this little ball. So this is the psoas in a super short space. It develops short. But this is also the way that your nervous system associates the most comfort and secure position ever. You will never be more comfortable than you are in your mother's womb. You will never get back there. You can try. Big part of these classes is maybe scratching a bit of that itch. But the idea of trying to cater to this muscle is, yes, it would be nice if it was always short, but then we'd be sticking our butts out when we went to stand up. So we need this thing to be open to suggestion and flexible. So to root back to that sense of comfort, one of the things that can come up, and maybe this has happened for some of you, maybe not, you're going through stretches or you're going through positions and you might get a sensation of anger, you might get a sensation of frustration, it can even be like, you know, like sorrow. What this is, it's the root. A lot of us hold our emotions in certain parts of our body. And this one is rooted to your anxious state, or in a lot of people, rage. Just like that raw anger and power comes from this position. Because what this muscle does is brings your knee up into your chest. If I'm in this shape, this is just pure like neurological, like foundational stuff, I am now protecting all of my organs. If I'm in fear or if I feel there's a threat, I want to protect the most vital parts of my body and go into a fetal position. But I don't always get to be there, right? When, like, this is not the best way to get away from a saber-toothed tiger. You know, like evolutionarily, like this did not go well for people who just curled up into a ball. But the thing is, this muscle will always tighten when we are under stress. So when you are encountering positions that draw you into length and you come up with, maybe you can't breathe properly because there's a little bit of anxious panic, know that that's the work that you should be doing. That's the thing you should be approaching, because this is the area that needs to open for you to get beyond that knee-jerk emotional and energetic restriction, because so much of it can be housed and stored in these spaces. We have evolved in a body mechanics perspective, even Alex brought it up today, to sit a lot. This is one of the worst things we could ever do for the psoas, because now, maybe this is relatable for some of us more than others, when you're stressed, before we used to run away from saber-toothed tigers when we're stressed. At least our psoas was moving, everything was mobile. Your body has no idea when you're sitting down getting that deadline email that's gonna just send the alarms off. That same trigger for stress is the same as you running for your life, but now you're sitting down. So you're training this muscle to get shorter and tighter in the most solid, small position possible, which is why we need to spend even more time unlocking and granting it that much more space. So one thing I want to get everyone into is just a really simple stretch for this muscle, just to have it open up. And just, again, be honest, you don't have to share, you don't have to be like, oh man, I really want to hit something right now. But try to acknowledge what comes up when you start challenging this thing. Because the thing that's really important is we're obviously trying to channel breath through our activities within all of the yoga positions. You're hopefully guiding through your breath. That spot that we talked about, at the very top where it attaches to the spine, interlaces with your diaphragm. So when you're breathing, you're setting the tone for, it's called fascia, the connective tissue that basically translates force from one structure to another in the body, is basically yanking on your psoas with every single inhalation and exhalation. So it's really important to make sure that you're always using your breath to encounter those areas that want to draw you inwards. Because if you meet a restriction and you're not able to breathe through it, you're probably going to continue to foster where that restriction sits and how it holds your body back from meeting its potential in movement, its ease in being open to fresh blood in order to heal. We definitely want to make sure that things are mobile. So this is our little exercise. It's super simple. It's just a kneeling position if everyone wants to drop down to one knee. Kind of like 90-90. If it's not comfortable, you can always fold up the mat underneath the kneecap. And I just want to make everyone aware of what activation can do within a particular stretch. This is obviously more active than most yin positions, but you can do this through almost any position that you want just by executing through engagement. So in this shape, it's pretty easy. We're just going to square off our hips. So I'm going to try and find the spot that's the most ideal for the camera. You guys can see, kind of, I'm open to you. Okay, so this back thigh, we're going to be stretching out that psoas. Okay, whichever one that is, you're all doing different things, that's great. So you're going to start, you're going to pull that back thigh forward. It's almost like you got your knee and you're going to drag it on the ground. And what that does is it wakes up this whole thigh and it wakes up the psoas in a slightly long position. You might feel a little tug inside your pelvis, right? Some of us might, if it's really tight, we might feel a little tug going up into our abdomen. Or you could feel it quite sharply in your groin. So just all you're doing is it's like you're trying to drag this along the ground, but you don't let it happen. So once you find that activation, that's you engaging the psoas, just drawing forward. Now what we're going to do is we use our position of our body. Our pelvis is square forward, and we're going to tuck our tail under. So this is us going through posterior tilt, right? So I'm going to point my tail to my front heel. Some of us are already figuring some more stuff out, right? You can feel that. So back thigh is driving forward, tucking the tail to the front heel. Now we're going to make this even more intense. What we've done is we've locked in the bottom of our psoas. We're going to take our hands and we're going to curl, pushing into our hands so that we can scoop as much as we can through our lower back. And I don't know where people are feeling it now, but this thing is racing all the way up into my gut. Right? So, but that's all based off of what I can do to create a little bit of isolation. If this isn't enough for you, we're going to take our hands to the top of our head, keep this little C scoop, keep that drive forward, tailbone pointing towards that front heel, and keep the C scoop lifting the elbows. Now you've basically taken your diaphragm, using the leverage of your ribs, up and away. So this might be getting you angry, hot, I'm sweating. And what we're trying to do is now we're going to take this for a little ride. You can look off towards your opposite side, whichever leg is in the back, look to the opposite side. And if you want, you can tilt whatever side is in the back, that elbow up. And now you've taken this muscle as far as you can through a loaded, isolated, engaged stretch, and then try and come out of it. So how challenging is that? Right? What does it do? It forces your body into a degree of panic because you are actually asking for room in the thing that keeps you safe. And most healing comes from the ability to exist long enough in a vulnerable space. So when we're talking about trying to transcend where we are, trying to like get through a position of pain or altered function, we have to cultivate spaces that are comfortable enough in the places that are the most affected. So one of the things that you can always do, so say we finished off in Sphinx, right? We were in this Sphinx pose. If I had a lower back issue, what would happen is it'd be really hard for me to engage with this. So we had good cues from Alex. He also had the bolster to drive our tail into the ground. And that was keeping our abs engaged, and that was stopping the worst aspects of what the psoas might create pressure into our lower back. Now the trick would be, if say we did have an issue or we noticed that that was the line of pull stopping us, we want to make sure that we're driving energetically into the ground. And so not only would I be driving my pubic bone or my tail into the floor, but I'd be thinking about dragging my thighs forward using my hands. And now I've completed this chain, my whole body is now working so much harder, but if I can breathe through that and I can isolate a little bit more time under control, it'll get softer, it'll change, and then the next time I go into this, my body isn't going to panic. Because otherwise, we're just gonna keep hitting the same threshold and never able to actually move beyond it. And this muscle is quite problematic because it's such a control freak. It really wants to make sure that you are, it's governing, your pelvis, it flanks your genitals. It's like holding the basin of your pelvic floor. Like it's got a lot on its plate. It's rooted to the center of your breath, right? So if we can allow this thing ease and a little bit more softness, we can start manipulating slowly towards something that's more sustainable and grants a much better foundation for all hip movement. And most importantly, especially for people who have ever had back issues, the ability to actually change the relationship to where things can sit while feeling safe. And that's what we're up to, is just trying to feel safe in different positions. Any questions? Anyone experience anything when we went through that? Like you could hear it in the room, like there was always just like that little gasp of like, wow, that's the spot. There's a lot to understand within it. Take your time. That stretch is money. It'll hit every single time. The easier version of that is actually to just, and I've put this guy on this, go onto a chin-up bar and a door frame and just do a lunge. And it's cheating, because basically it's just taking your whole upper body through some length, and now you get to experience what it's like to operate under decompression with that release, right? So that's just using the leverage of our own body to create room. But you can do it in any position, doesn't matter what it is. Even if we were in like half position like pigeon, if I drove into the floor and dragged that forward, I've got the release that I need, and now I can go even further for my back, and I can allow my body to sink even more. One of the problems that we have is we often overload the muscle, and it's happy to do it. It's a workaholic. It'll just keep the show together. But we need to be nice to it, but sometimes you have to push it to figure out where it can actually be released. And that's where I kind of challenge all of you to figure out where those boundaries are and see what you can do. Maybe not, in your practice right away, but like off the mat or in your own time when you can be a little bit more playful, to see how much work you can put into asking more out of that psoas. It's going to keep coming up. Like Alex is going to come in and he's going to go break down the practice for you, because it was perfect for illustrating the different positions. And I might like tune in and just kind of be like, and that's that part of your psoas releasing, and this is this part. So anyways, that's just something that I wanted to bring to your attention, because it's a really valuable aspect of unlocking the root of all of your stability. And at the same time, one of the biggest blocks to your emotional realm, and how you can actually take charge in giving yourself a better baseline for a threshold in patience and calm when you're under duress, because this thing just wants to kick shit.
Yeah.
That's what it wants to do. It wants to run, it wants to hold, and worst case scenario, it wants to bind you into the safest, most secure place possible. And that's okay, as long as you can come out of it. So take that, and Alex will take you through the class.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Ken. That deserves a round of applause. You can just keep it on. You can hang out with me.
Yeah, do you want to throw me in positions?
Yeah, I'm just going to, talk, throw you into positions. I just want to first say, like, there's a couple things he said. So part of the history of my yoga journey, my first yoga, my yin yoga teacher, let's put it that way. My yin yoga, the person who taught me this program, her name was Gayatri, and she was obsessed as anatomy-wise, like Kent. Now she's a nurse practitioner. She was obsessed with the psoas. So I actually traded, back in the day, my 200-hour yoga teacher training to do a yoga video, because back in the day we had DVDs, and DVDs sold, a yoga DVD in exchange for the training. So I have something called Back Care with Gayatri, and it's one of the most beautiful, rarest, best practices you'll ever go through, and it's completely situated on the psoas. I did all the graphics, you'll see it. I have it online, so I will post that to the group, so thank you for today.
That's cool.
So if you get a chance, like you said, to play, this is a great start, because she does a lot of the movements that Ken talks about, but she does it, like, again, I trained with her, so a lot of the things that, you know, the way I teach, you'll see it in the way she teaches. So again, it's a great start for all of you if you want to do a great practice from home, and it's incredible. So that's the first part. Second part is, when he was kind of sticking to the ground, did you see how he's like pulling and how we're pulling? That's where I keep bringing in kind of the martial arts thing, that there's this secret energy you're not seeing, but if you start to unlock it the way he says, this is why you can't move certain people. This is why they're called grounded. You know, this is why they can't be pushed and they can't be pulled. One of my teachers, Carlos Newton, UFC champion number 9, first Canadian champion, I got to study with him after my second black belt, which was awesome. So I already had so much experience. And me and my best friend Luke, he's a 3rd degree. I think I was at the 2nd at the time when we started studying with him. And the both of us with double black belts and all the yoga of the world, we do this thing called knee fighting. And it's like jiu-jitsu, but on your knees, judo on your knees. And there was no way to knock this man over. And again, a lot of it now that I've learned is because he had such inner strength, he had such psoas strength that all of his movements, like Ken said, were connected to this kind of inner turmoil in himself, that every time we tried to push him, pull him, he just could not be moved. So there's a lot here, so thank you for that, brother. It's beautiful. We'll continue to take this journey together. So let's hop up on our feet. Let's get a little bit comfortable, so that way, you know, our minds kind of listen. So, Ken, if you want to take a little break, I'll call you in when I'm ready. Yeah.
No, sounds good.
So just take a little break. If you want to turn off the mic, you can, or if you want to jump in at any point, feel free. So basically, just open up your feet mat width apart, and just relax your body. And then what I want you to do is just to move your hips side to side. So just start with that, just shifting the weight left and right. And that's what we're going 50, 50. So you might want to come a little bit closer if you feel more comfortable. Some people like a little more narrow. Other people like it a little wider. And again, I always say this, like snowboard stance, you find your snowboard stance, right? So you relax. Okay, 50-50. Now let's do, again, for those who are here for the class, but I'll go through it, what Kent taught us, right? So we shift, we're gonna go, so we're all facing the same direction, right? So we're gonna start, we're gonna pull the energy, so I'll show you with my hands, to the left, so we're in the toes. We're gonna round the edge of the foot into the heels. This knee bends. Then we're going to send it through into the toes and around into the heels and then back again. Okay, you can all turn and face me because I'll want you to look toward me. So again, we're just going to keep sending that through, sending that through. And if you notice, what's sending the energy through as we continue to do this movement through this figure 8 is your hips, right? So the hips are sending the energy through, okay? The hips are sending the energy through. As you're pushing the hip forward, pushing the hip back. Again, just relax with it. There's no right or wrong, right? Just getting into a figure 8. This is something I learned in Japan. Getting into this position is a meditation. So if you're in a forest, right, you can just start to sway, feel the energy. I see the tree sees me. You start breathing, and you can go really deep, really fast just by doing this. Because it's kind of the shape of the universe. This is kind of what it is. It's the figure 8, and that's why we do the figure 8 breathing. You can incorporate all of it, okay? So just here. So here we are with our hips. So now I want you to try and relax everything. Don't move your head, just kind of find a point on the floor or on the ceiling. Just pick a point. This is called drishti, single point. So find a point. This is what we do when we balance. And what I want you to do is just relax your shoulders, pull them back. So just take your shoulders, pull them back so you lock them. So lock your shoulders and lock your gaze. So now just move the hips. Figure 8. Don't move anything else. Just move your hips. And then start to move them bigger. Okay? Start to move them bigger. And the bigger you move them, you're going to start to notice you're going to end up here. And that's because, like Ken said, that's the origin of the movement. It's the psoas. And so now I want you to take a deep breath in and a deeper breath out. And you do that, keep going as I talk. Now the diaphragm, which is this giant, it's the most giant muscle in your body. It's a huge dome. And as you inhale, it expands. And as it exhale, it contracts. And so as you do this, you're going to start to feel this origin point. And if I'm correct, Kent, it's right at T12, right? The origin of the diaphragm?
Yep.
And then it's believed, yeah. So diaphragm, psoas, kidneys is all basically right here, right at the top here. So it's all connected here. And that's why people get a lot of congestion here and they feel like they're kind of like an hourglass. They feel stuck here. Okay, so again, you're just moving through, finding that thing. Now what I want you to do is keep your gaze and relax your shoulders. Now notice the difference. Stay figure 8. Again, don't have to worry about the figure 8. It can do all sorts of fun things, right? But just relax your shoulders. Now I want you to start to move your hands. Just move your hands. Again, on graduation day, I'm priming you. You're going to have a great time. So part of the party that Alex throws is something called blindfold dancing, and it's the most fun thing. I learned it when I was at U of T. And so we go blindfold and we dance on the spot, and it's the most incredible experience. You'll be putting it all together. It's wonderful. So we're just getting a little taste of it, but we're teaching it right now. So just relax it out. Now what I want you to do is I want you to start to move your head now. Just move your head. Let it flow. Arms, shoulders, head, and just let your body move. So this is how I teach someone to dance. You lock it up, and then you open it up. And just start feeling. And you start to feel in your body certain dips, certain things. You'll start to feel certain areas in your chest, in your body. That's why they say dancing is the best medicine, right? Okay, so dancing is the best medicine. So just moving the energy around. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Good. Now on the spot, we're just going to shake, 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 shake. And we're going to go, ha. We're going to do that 3 times. 1, ha. Shaking it out. 2, ha. And 3. Good. Now I want you to step forward with the right foot. Now left foot, right foot. Doesn't matter. Whichever one. Open up your arms. And again, this is not a yin posture, but it is a yin posture because we do it on the floor. This is angel pose. So just open everything up. Open up your chest. Open up your body. Look up and hold. 10. Breathe. 9. 8. 7. Keep opening. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2, exhale, sigh it out. Good, shake, 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 shake. And the energy going, good. Right leg steps forward or left, whichever you did. Open it up and feel. Just want to open up your energy before I teach you what I'm doing so you remember. 10, 9, 8, 7, all the way back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale down, relax it out. Good, and then last one. This is a martial arts movement. Just grab the energy towards you so your palms are facing towards you. And then you're going to imagine you're opening 2 elevator doors. So you can bend your knees a little bit. You're just going to open 2 elevator doors. But the secret is you won't be doing it, but you need to do it, is curl your fingers toward you, right? The doors need to be opened. So now the doors are open. Good. All right. So now we're here. Let your hips relax. Move your hips. Good. Keep moving your fingers towards you. Spread all 10 fingers. You're going to feel it in just a second. And when you start to feel it, right, and you feel like, wow, this is getting hard, I want you to imagine that there's children and animals in the elevator. And if this elevator closes, oh boy, Tower of Terror, okay? So hold it open, curl back. Yes, brothers, now we're feeling it. 10 deep breaths. Keep going. Remember, children and animals. 9. Lock it out. Keep curling towards your ears. 8. Move those hips. Send the energy through. 7. 6. 5. Now stop moving your hips. 4, just stretch through your arms. Keep stretching. 3. See how much harder it is? 2. And deepest breath in. Exhale, relax it out. Okay? So in martial arts, we have to do that for 5 to 10 minutes. So just FYI, just so you know. That's where the energy comes in, right? So I just wanted to show you kind of a little step-by-step movement of just how it works, okay? So as you can see with moving, right? Yes, you're moving, like, are you really moving your feet to shift the weight? Not really, right? You're planted. So are you really moving your knees? Not really. Not a lot of side-to-side mobility with the knees. A little bit, but not too much. But where do you get your mobility, right? It comes from the hip, right? It comes from the hip. It comes from the hip. It comes from the hip. Look how much range of motion you can get. Okay, so all that stuff we're doing in class brings a lot of motion to our hips. Okay, and the hips are really powerful at movement. Then we lock the hips, and now we can try and move our shoulders. Okay, so try and keep your hips locked and just start to move your shoulders side to side. So open up your arms and try and reach to one side and then reach to the other side. Good. So again, these movements we're doing are opening up this energy, right? So if this is hard for you, that's okay, right? Something like scorpion tail we did was really good for that, okay? Good. So now relax that. Now let's move our head, right? From one side to the other side, all right? How much range of motion can we get in our heads? And do we feel it pulling on that shoulder, right? Let's go back. Let's go forward, tucking that chin. Again, feeling, okay? But no one in this room is doing this without feeling their shoulders slightly move. And no one is doing this thing without feeling their hips slightly move. The more professional you become at this, the more you can isolate each area without movement. So you just move the shoulders, right? You can just move the head. You can just move the hips. And if you've ever had the privilege to watch a belly dancer, they're one of the best people I've ever seen do it. You know, being able to isolate all 3, it's mesmerizing. If you know what you're looking at, it's amazing, right? Okay, have a seat. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is that the spine is aligned and it's connected to the hips, right? The tailbone goes all the way through. We have this pelvic floor, right? And it's here. It's situated here. But like Ken says, you don't move your skeleton. Your muscles, your ligaments and tendon, that's what's moving your skeleton, okay? But your skeleton is there, and your skeleton is the thing that's receiving all the information of all the sensations, okay? So the idea here is that we move left and right, forward and back, and twisting, the 6 movements we do in yoga, to get the 7th movement, which is elongate, which you called axial extension. Axial extension, okay? So this is what we're here to do. I always say 6 chakras, 6 movement gets us to the 7th chakra, which is now we're liberated from the body. So if you do enough yoga, you do enough forward folds, backward bends, side bends, twists, you're gonna liberate your body. And once your body is liberated, you go into the 7th movement, which is now you don't need any more yoga. Right? I'm still not there yet. I still need yoga every day. I still do yoga every day, but I'm getting closer as I get older to like not needing it. But it's journey, it's work, it's a lot of work because in the past I put myself into situations where I wasn't doing yoga, martial arts, snowboarding, climbing mountains, all these things, which were super inspiring and wonderful activities, but they created a lot of damage for my body because I had a lot of like moments where I had to protect myself, which leads to the psoas, right? These moments where I had to protect myself, and it creates these deep, deep, what we call in yoga, samskaras or patterns. So when a tree is coming my way, like Ken said, you know, you brace up, you become the little seed. Sometimes you literally just hit the tree and it's like, but thank God you'd hit it with a squat, you know, and not like a thing, because if you hit it like this, you're dead, right? So if you hit it with a squat, at least you're covered, and you're gonna hit the periphery as like a shield, and you're gonna pop out, okay? That's why boxers box, you know, that's why we block, and all these things that we do. In yoga, it's why we frame. So that's why I taught the Sphinx today with the short frame. So I wanna move into each one, and I wanna show you why we do what we do, just as a little bit of a concept, and Ken, you can chime in whenever you want, brother, okay? So the first one is with the hips. So why we want to open up the hips, fundamentally, one reason, because of what Kent just taught you, the psoas, right? The psoas connects to your iliacus. So it's like a two muscle group. It goes from like here to here. That's why for me, when someone talks about like core for me is here to here, okay? Now, we can argue till the day comes on where your core is. Some people think it's here, right? I think it's here to here because it goes psoas to iliacus. Now, the core is actually nose to toes, but I call that the deep front line. So again, it's just a different term, but technically it's nose to toes because it's technically connected all the way to your tongue, which is the strongest muscle in your body, okay? So this is the connection, okay? So your core though is your psoas and your iliacus. And the reason that is because this is where there's a lot of power, like he said, that's not being generated, but can be generated. And this is where the martial arts comes in, this is where the yoga comes in, this is where the thing. We need to activate this energy and we need to awaken it. So when we're working with our hips in any of the postures we're gonna be learning, you gotta remember that thing I keep saying. The hip is a ball and socket joint. It can move in 360 degrees. So when we're doing, we started today with hip opener, it was dragonfly. With dragonfly, the prep for that was the ability to, let's all jump in position because it's better to learn together. So the ability, and for some of you, you're gonna be better off on the bolster. So if you're having a hard time getting your knees straight, set up on the bolster. You're gonna feel way more comfortable. Good. All right, so the idea here is in anything you do in yoga, in anything you do, on the ground, it's more obvious because there's less range of motion, but when you're sitting, and then when you're standing, if you don't learn it from the seated, you won't get it from the standing, okay? So from the standing, remember I showed you, you can move your hips, you can move your heart, and you can move your head. 3-part movement, okay? So when I started us today, I started us with the hips. And so the first thing we need to learn is what Kent was saying. There's a roll back, and there's a roll out in front. This is why we go like this. So this idea of rolling forward and reaching forward, why? Like he said, this is where the psoas likes to be. This is the short version of it, right? It is not stretching here. Other things are stretching, but it's not stretching. It's protected, okay? But when we do this, when we go from back, so start from the back, curl, right? And now roll yourself forward as far as you can get. Now, you're stretching your psoas, okay? Immediately. Right, so this should be an aha moment for some of you, okay? Before we get into arms and legs, before we get into anything. So you roll back, right? And then you roll forward. Once you go forward, you're on the front part of the sit bones, okay? When you're on that front part of the sit bones, there's always 2 movements in yoga, and you'll see it across the way. One's yang, one's yin. We're studying yin. What do I always say to you? Relax your head, fold forward, dive in. Passive, okay? So it's this diving in, but like Ken said, it's a curl. So as you're curling, you can be pressing down, pulling in, curl. You can be doing all this unseen work into the curl, okay? You have your hands up, right? Exactly like you showed us in the lunge. You could do it all here.
So in this position, his hips are anchoring the base, his iliacus, in a slightly short position. But as soon as he goes into the curl, the top part of the psoas is now in a long position.
Yes.
So this is beneficial to just feeding one part of the muscle. And the beauty of the shape is, you'll notice, especially if you're a little stiffer, you can't not do this in a roll.
Yes.
And that's just your mechanical sort of disadvantage in movement, but instability, that is a much more secure place to be operating from. You're not asking for the world from your abs in order to generate an alternative shape. If you are super flexible, and contortionists can just shift forward, you've seen it in yoga classes where usually it's just some open-hipped woman will just fold completely forward in front of you.
I was going to go there.
How
exactly.
is that possible?
Exactly.
That person has the ability to just translate through the hips. The iliacus can just keep going. There's no restriction there for that person. But what they might be losing is the attention to detail in the curve of their spine. Because if they're curved backwards, that's the psoas being short. As soon as they're in that flexion, it's long. So what's your intention? That person was fiending for a stretch in their hips, and they're trying to get that. But what they're losing is the ability to actually achieve the anchor point of the hips in order to stretch this part of their spine.
Totally. And that's where I was just about, thank you, Kent, and that's where I was just about to go. There's a yin and a yang. Everything we do is going to be with that curl. If you want to activate the curl, we're going to put those practices in. So let's just take a look at it so we remember before I transition. So again, rather than going more forward and trying to get your head to the ground, which is one way of thinking about it, right? The other way of thinking about it is like he just said, lock your hands out in front, and you're going to curl your toes, and you're going to push into the ground with your legs, okay? Push into the ground with your legs. As you do this, you're gonna curl your back, and you're diving down to the ground, diving down to the ground. See, and look at me. I just went to the floor, okay? So it's a very different way of doing things, okay? It's a very different way of doing things. Yeah, some of you should be having an aha moment right now, right? This is radical stuff. Now, most people, like you said, in yoga, they do this, I call it California yoga now. I used to call it, anyways, I don't call it that name anymore. I call it California yoga now. So California yoga is all about it's like a ballerina. It's like, oh, I'm so cool, watch me. Deep shirt, here I go, down to the ground, right? So again, it's very aesthetic, it's very pretty, it's very attractive, but again, like Ken said, it doesn't have the internal movement. And if you continue on this journey with me, the next level of this program is almost strictly internal, right? And it's something called bandhas. And it's just a lot of practice. And this is what they call, if you read the books, the secret teachings from the guru to the students. So this is next level stuff. But you first have to learn this stuff. And that's where I was saying in the beginning, there's so much more you can receive here. It can be passive. You can just hang like an apple. But there's also this ability of what Ken said, pressing, engaging, activating, and then curling into it. Holding, relaxing, activating. So there's ways that you can move your practice very quickly because now you are moving with another level of consciousness, which is awareness, okay? So that's the hips. So we did the hips, regardless whether we did that or didn't do that, it doesn't matter. We did the hips, right? So you wake up in the morning, you're like, I want to do yoga. What's the first thing you should be doing? Chill, breathe. Why? Because that's the centering, right? You just want to get centered, meditate, clean your channels, make sure your nose isn't plugged, blah, blah, blah. Next level, we go to the hips. So when you look at your book, when we do our things, we go to the hips, okay? Why stretch the hips first? You can do it from the ground, you can do it from sitting, but in yin yoga, we only have one standing position, and that's dangle. So dangle is the only position in yin that we take, and technically, like I've said, when you stand, this becomes yang because the art of standing takes so much energy, okay? So in your books, this is the final position. This is as high as yin goes, is into the dangle, okay? Cool? Okay, it's just so, because I'm gonna be moving through asanas quite frequently if I have time tonight. So the first part is hips. Does anyone have any questions about the hips? Okay, they're the junk drawers, okay? Why are they the junk drawers? Like Kent said, A lot of emotion. A lot of things. Has anyone ever been hit in the gut? Yeah, it's the worst feeling on this planet. Really, it's the worst feeling on this planet. It's kind of it's like, in psychology, there's certain universal emotions. One of them is disgust. It's the closest thing I've ever gotten to real, true disgust. It wasn't it was disgust. It was like, it is one of the hardest things to deal with is a shot in the gut. It's the worst. Because the disgust goes so high because your gut is just going like it's just exploding with pain. So one of the things that we have to be mindful of is that this area, and this is what I call the hips. So for me, the hips is basically anything from the knees to the solar plexus. Okay? So when I'm talking about the hips, yes, this is your, what do we call it? The pelvis, the whole thing? The pelvis?
Yeah, the pelvis.
Yeah, this is your pelvis. Like the word hips, like what is it specifically, hips? Or is it just a general term?
Oh, well, so like you have the ball and socket that's basically your femurs going into your hips, and that's what you would refer to as the hip.
But it's just
in
like
the movement of flexion.
It's just the hips, right? It's a concept.
I feel like the point that you're getting at is these are the areas of the body that constitute the movement of hinging in either direction.
Yes.
They articulate through the different rotations.
Yes.
Sure.
So what I'm saying, when you're teaching the hips, when I'm using these concepts for the hips, what I'm talking about is everything from here to here, okay? Everything from here to here. And the reason why is because this whole area, this is your junk drawer, right? This is where things are getting stuck, big time, okay? So this is why when people go into forward fold, if their hips are tight, they can't get their legs straight. They're like, oh, it's my hamstrings. It is their hamstrings. But it's also everything else. And it runs up into here. And that's why for many of you, when you come to my classes, I say, get the leg straight first, pull into it, because it's way better doing that than this, because you're just bypassing, okay? So when we talk about hips, whether we're in cobbler pose, whether we're in, pigeon pose, it's even pigeon pose, right? It's the folding from here to here. Whether we're sitting in meditation, here to here, right? It's all coming from your hips. So your hips are basically your knees to your solar plexus, which is basically your psoas, iliacus. That's it.
Adductors, quads, hamstrings.
Okay, abductors, quads, hams, yeah. Let's keep going.
You don't want to keep
maximus,
naming
medius, yeah. Let's get Kent on it. Yeah.
Sorry.
This is where I have Kent. So this is where it's like, this is the hips. Now, the other reason why this is the hips, emotionally, junk drawers, okay? So, junk drawers. The other reason why I use the word, I use this area of the hips, is because the structural complexity of your bones, right? There's a lot going on in here, structurally. There's a lot going on everywhere, right? There's a lot going on here, right? But when it comes to the spine, right, there's a lot going on here. Right, base of the spine, right, coccyx, sacrum, right? There's two parts of the spine here, so there's a lot going on here. So that's what I constitute as hips, right? This whole region, okay? Next level, the heart. When I'm calling it the heart, I could call it the chest, yes, but why I call it the heart is because this whole region was developed, this rib cage was developed to literally protect this organ. Now, there are other organs, there's a stomach, there's a liver, there's kidney, there's things. But at the end of the day, right, this is where it is strongest, the bones. There's no floating ribs over here, right? So, and when we talk about the heart, I'm not just talking the physical heart, I'm talking the emotional heart, which when most people say, put your hand on your heart. Right? Most people don't go like an American. Some people do, but most people will go to the center of their chest. Right? This is where my heart is, or they talk about their kid or something. They don't usually go like this. They talk about their country or their boat, sure, You know, but when you're talking about like a family member or you're trying to give like condolence to someone, you're not going like this. It just looks strange and it's kind of weird. So this is the heart, okay? So from the heart, this area moves predominantly side to side. It does move front and back, but it does move front and back. It does move side to side, and it does twist, which is why there is, you know, the Jewish symbol of the Star of David. In Indian philosophy, we call it the Merkaba, I believe it's called, right? The Merkaba. So it's a double-sided star, right? And so this double-sided star represents the fact that the heart can move in all directions. So when you think of movements of the heart, you bring in more side bending, right? Side bending. You can also think of it in terms of digestion, because there's your stomach on one side, there's your liver on the other, right? Your gallbladder somewhere in there too, right? So this idea of this to this, right? This rocking. Twisting literally comes from this point. This area doesn't get a lot, your hips don't get a lot of twisting going on. The vertebrae are quite fused. The twisting comes from the heart. You see? You can feel it. So I always say, yeah, feel it? You're not really moving that much with your hips. It's your heart that sends the movement. Yeah, just feel it. Like, try and go as far as you can. You'll get stuck. Now take your hand to the outside of your knee and keep going. Right? That's because you're moving the upper part. Okay? So the heart is really, I always say, predominantly for me, about side bends and twists. So when I teach my sequencing, again, I made an exception today because, well, not really, not on the first part, but on the second part. I made an exception today because I did Sphinx as our heart opener, but I did that because Scorpion Tail was a hip heart, like there was again, I was crossing the boundaries, but I knew what I was doing. But I'm constantly moving the energy from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, okay? Constantly moving. So as we get into this next part, the heart, once the predominant movement of the hips is not side to side. The predominant movement of the hips is anterior posterior. So forward folds and backward bends, right, are the predominant movements of the hips. Predominant. Doesn't mean it can't move this way and this way. Right? Doesn't mean it can't twist a little bit, but predominantly moves forward and back. But your heart can really go sideways. You see? Your heart can really go sideways. So if you're working with energy, when you're working with energy, you start with forward and backward movements, and then you send it up into side movements and twists. And why is that? Let's do our counting. Forward fold. Say the word. What's the word? 1, right? Backward bend. Side bend to the left. Side bend to the right. Okay? We have 2 more movements. What are they? Let's do a little test. Yep. What is that movement? Twist to which side? Perfect. 5th movement. And what's the 6th movement? Twist the right side. So now what's all that's left? Axial extension, aka what I call it? It's called like lying back, but lying back with an intention. Axial alignment, axial extension, or what I call elongation. Right? Elongation. So that's the 7th movement. So 2 movements for the hips, 2 movements for the heart. No, sorry, 4 movements for the heart, right? It's technically 2, but side to side, right? Okay? And 1 movement for the head, which is elongation. Because the head can do everything the best. Go forward, right? And go way more forward than any other part of your head could go forward. Go backward, go side, go the other side, twist. The head can do it all. But it has a really hard time doing the last movement, which is this movement. It's a very small movement. You tuck your chin and you imagine there's a thread pulling you from the top of your head. For those in the Hebrewic tradition, that's why they wear a yarmulke, to protect their 7th chakra. The 7th chakra is your pituitary gland. Your 6th chakra is your pineal gland. Your 6th chakra is your thymus, your thalamus and your thyroid, thalamus. Then you have kidneys, 3rd chakra, 2nd chakra, ovaries and testes, 1st chakra, perineum. And it follows your immune system. So the yogis associated all the chakras with your immune system before we even knew what the immune system was. And this is how they did it. So this idea of what we're teaching in a yoga class, when you're moving your hips forward and back, think of when we open the book and start looking at posture, and I say, what is this predominantly, right? So if I go into dangle, what is this predominantly? Yes, it's good for my head. Yes, it's good for my heart, but what is it really good for? So we're going to work with 3 words: hips, heart, head. If I'm going into forward fold, after what I just taught you, what is the predominant, what does the hips take care of? Hips, because hips are all about forward fold. What happens if I go into this forward fold? What's predominantly being stretched here? Your back, yeah, but we're going to use 3 words. Is it my head, my heart, or my hips? Your hips, absolutely. If I go into bridge and I do bridge, what am I predominantly stretching? That's correct. If I stand up and twist, what am I twisting? Your heart. If I now do deer and I twist this way, what am I predominantly stretching? Heart. Okay? You see what starts to happen? Now, there's always exceptions. I'm just trying to create a general lexicon for you to understand where, because once you start getting into yoga postures, it gets really confusing about where to go next. But if you think about it in terms of hips, heart, head, and you're always moving the energy from a forward fold to a side bend or a twist, and then into meditation, you're going to have the best home practice, you're going to have the best teaching practice. Okay?
And just remember your intention.
Yes.
Like, you can have hearts and hips both being stimulated by one posture. Like, if you go back into your deer, like, yeah, that's a beautiful example. Like, he's able to open and expose his hip, because we talked about this in one of the first classes. It is an open chain expression. He's locked through his shoulder. His heart is locked. It is the control, but it's allowing for the movement to be expressed through the hips. Whereas if he was in deer, if you go to like deer, he'll lock out through his hips and expose the open chain of his spine, and his heart is now receiving the benefit. Right? So you can always generate these multifaceted techniques within the lexicon of these 3 breakdowns, like head, heart, hips. But depending on whatever's moving, whatever has the freedom to express itself further because of the privilege of the other anchored space, is usually the one that's receiving the focus. Not always, and you can always change the focus based off of where you put force. But that's a really interesting way of tying back into stuff we've discussed before.
Totally. So now, if you have your books or your notebooks, I want to show you the practice I did today, and then we're going to do some group work, okay? So when we started the practice, we went from head, which was meditation. Whenever there's meditation, it doesn't matter what pose you take. If you're doing breath work, meditation, sitting, lying down, anything, that's the 7th movement. Why? Because the only movement you're really doing, yes, you're back bending a little bit, but what are you really doing? You're elongating, because you're breathing, right? The breathing is actually making you taller, okay? So whenever you're meditating, So we start with meditation. What's the first thing we did? We went up and went into the hips. Okay, from the hips, we came up, right? And then where do we go next? Do you remember? Yeah, we're in La La Land, it's good. We went into deer twist, right? And we went into twist. And why I always go left over right is just aid in digestion, because your stomach's on your left side, and you're just moving the energy. Okay, so boom, and then we went to the other side, boom. And then I said, here's a tricky one, but this is one of the few postures. So I could have chosen at that moment, again, if it wasn't you guys, let's say it was level 2 yin yogis who've done so much yoga, like they've done, let's say it's an 80-hour program. I wouldn't have done what I just did, because I would have done this with them. Let's sit. So after that, now let's sit. Let's find that stillness. But instead, I flipped you upside down and I gave you this. And why did I give you this? Because we are elongating. Yes, it's a forward fold, but you are elongating along that spine and you are bearing that head, and the head is receiving everything right now. Okay, so like Ken said, the intention. What's predominantly being stretched here? Yes, 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 but your head is really the most because circulation's going to your head. Okay, we came out, and then I took you again through the journey. We did scorpion tail, back to hips, right? We opened the hips, but we also got some heart because now we're in round 2. I started merging. We did the other side. Then I brought you up into Sphinx, Walrus, open up that heart, right? Be the boat, face the waves, be the breath. And then from there, we either sat or lied down. Correct? Right. So you can see it. There's a pattern to the movements, all right? So now we're gonna partner up. Ken, unless you wanna do anything. I gotta go. Oh, go. Yeah, brother, you did amazing today. Yeah. Everyone, Ken. We love Ken. All right. You wanna get going too? No problem, brother. Anytime. Thank you so much. You're welcome here anytime. Yes, brother. Okay, so we'll do, let's change it up today. 1, 2, 2, 2. No, you want. Yeah, okay. Okay, I leave you with your buddy, that's fine. Okay, so actually that works out. Jen and Sue actually works out better, perfect. And then the boys, perfect. Okay, you're gonna go back to back in cobbler pose. So face your partner back to back, and you're gonna go into cobbler pose. Boys, bolsters for the boys. Bolsters for the boys. You guys can sit on your mats too. You can use a mat. Do more what Sue and Jen are doing over here. Face each other that way. You too. So go onto a mat so your feet don't get tired. Brother, that was the best today. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll see you this week.
Yeah, she'll see me this week, and we'll keep painting the concepts. And I do think what we're gonna do, I was inspired by Day, I'll send you the video I did with Costa. I'd love to do that with you, posture by posture, and we do it all on a YouTube, 3 hours, and we hit everything. Yeah.
And just make sure that as long as we have it detailed, then we just make sure.
It's all in the book.
We just throw it.
It's all in the book.
Yeah. But just like we know that that needs to be highlighted, that needs to be highlighted, that needs to be highlighted.
Love you, brother.
Peace, brother.
Take care, brother. So good. And like I said, anytime you want to come here, you let me know. Okay? Beautiful to see you. Love you, brother. Okay, crew. So nice and comfy. Crew, I'm going to get you to flip too because Andrew's feet are going to fall asleep. Can I get you guys to flip this way? If that's okay. Yeah. His feet are going to fall asleep. That's why. Okay. So come into cobbler pose. Put your feet together. Get into a nice diamond shape. Okay. So we're going to take our partners on a journey through our hips. Okay? So I want us all to start breathing just nice and natural, relaxed. Don't worry, we're all friends here. You're just getting into the energy. I'm going to warm up the room a little bit so we get a little bit more cozy. Okay? And so now what I want to start to feel and see is I want both of you to exhale. I want both of you to exhale. Okay? And so I want one to breathe while the other exhales. So all the people facing the inside, when you do that exhale thing, you're gonna go first and you're gonna fill up, and then you're gonna exhale through the mouth, and they're gonna go up to get the rhythm. So you have to feel it. It's gonna take a little bit. I will explain it to Mila. So she's gonna exhale. Ashley's gonna. And when she exhales, you're gonna inhale. And then you're gonna exhale, and she's gonna wait for you, and you're gonna go, okay? And when that happens, when you guys feel that you're in rhythm with each other, give it a minute, give it a minute, give it a minute, there's no rush. It takes a while. It's not an easy activity to do, but it's just in through nose, out through mouth. In through nose, out through mouth. Okay, relax into the feeling. Okay, so one is breathing in, one is breathing out, and I want you to feel the 3 parts of the breath, okay? What are the 3 parts of the breath? The hips, the heart, and the head, right? None of us are anatomy majors. None of us went to school for physiology. You can still do yoga and teach yoga without this background. Important to learn. It can always extend your journey. It's super interesting and fun. But at the same time, if you just focus your 3 parts on, air comes into my nose, it fills up my heart, which is my lungs, and it moves into my hips, which is what we call the belly or the abdomen. You see? And I also want you to start feeling this connection along the spine. So now your spine has 4 parts, right? There's a cervical, there's a thoracic, there's a lumbar, well 5 parts, there's a sacrum and a coccyx, but I want to simplify it for you to understand it in 3 parts. Hips, heart, head. So when you're breathing in through your nose, that's your head. Your chest expands, that's your heart. Your belly expands, and that's your hips. And then you exhale, hips, heart, and head. And what part is exhaling? Through the mouth or through the nose, whichever you prefer. Okay? Are we getting in rhythm with our partners? Getting into the feeling? We'll give it 30 more seconds. You can talk to each other if you need to. All right, ride the breath. Ride the breath. Ride the breath. Really sandwich into each other. How are we doing? How's she doing? She's getting it? Do you need me to communicate with her? She's got it, yeah? Okay, so one breathes out, you breathe in. You breathe out. She breathes in, like a boat. Whoosh-da. One up, one down. How's that feeling, Sue? Okay? All right. So now what we're going to do is the one, okay? And I'm going to show you over here. You can watch me. The one who exhales, look at me. You can relax now. The one who exhales, you're going to inhale. Ready? So exhale, inhale. Down, 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 all the way. All the way. Okay? Okay, now, you exhale, you inhale. Push it, 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 good. Inhale, exhale. There we go. Let's roll, okay? Follow the rhythms of your partner. Sue, would you be more comfortable with the bolster?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jen's fine. Jen can do it both ways. She's young.
Yeah.
There you go, Sue. So Jen, just throw a bolster underneath you if you want, just to be on Sue's level. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is the timing. That's it. Good, Raza. Nice. Good, Andrew. How's that feeling, brother? Andrew, would you be more comfortable on a bolster?
Sure.
Yeah. So Riza, let's get on a bolster for Andrew, because I'll feel better for him. He's got tight hips. Okay? Feeling the energy. One goes up, one goes down, you start to get the lean. Yeah, boys, I think you guys are mastering it in the class right now. That's it, Eric. Trust yourself to go back with the head this time, okay? Because you want to feel the head part of it. Let the head go. That's it, all the way, all the way. There you go. Don't lift yourself. Let him lift you. Okay? Don't lift yourself. Let him lift you. Well, her. Anyone in the room. Okay? Feel the energy. Good. It starts to become the breath. Let yourself stretch forward as far as you can. Use your arms in front of you to help you. Support the weight of your person. You got it, Sue. She's got you. Don't worry. You relax. This is all part of the activity. You just relax. Good, Sue. And forward. Good. Breathe and feel. That's it, Sue. Trust, 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 trust. She's got you. Good. And forward. That's it. Feel your partner's breath for 10. 9. Feel the energy in your hips. Feel the extra weight. 8. That's it. 7. That's it, Jen, lead her way. That's it, there's your teacher training. 6. That's it, she brings you up, Sue, let her bring you up. 5. Boys, you're killing it. This is great. Feeling the energy, you got this. Eric, let it go, buddy, let it go, let those arms go. Again, there's nothing better when you go back and you just like float back. Let it go, let it go. Yeah, brother. That's it, you're getting a little apart, but that's okay, we're almost done. 2. And 1. All right, turn and face your partner. Let them know what the experience was like. What'd you feel like? What'd you learn?
I was like, actually though, I was like preparing.
Yeah, he was gone. You did good. Yeah, you did really good. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is, do you want to do this or no?
No.
You don't want to work on them? Because I was going to give you to Jen, I'll take Sue.
No.
No? Okay, you go. Just you and Atreyu. Good? Yeah, it's great. Yeah. We're going to get another one. We're going to get another one because this is what we're learning, okay? So again, so that's what we're doing, okay? So now, let me use Paola. Paola, come with me just for a quick second. Turn the camera toward me. Yeah. Okay, so now same thing, okay? So now we're going to do this. So now what we're going to do is this time you can sit cross-legged or just comfortable, like whatever works for you, okay? And so now what we're going to do is we're going to open up our arms, okay? We're going to open up our arms, okay? And we're going to take a deep breath in. Actually, some people might feel better to do this, right? Do it like bent, like goddess arms. I like it this way, actually. So get nice and close, deep breath in. And then as one exhales, the other one inhales, and we're going to twist. And now Paola inhales. You inhale, okay? You inhale, and then you exhale. There we go. Okay, and we're going side to side. Just feel the rhythm. Try and stay opposite with each other, because that's how the energy works best. If you end up in tandem, it's okay, you'll just be a little bit more resistant. But try, let's do it this way. Rather than do it complicated, let's do it this way. Inhale. Inhale together. Let's do it this way. Get together, I got you. Inhale together, exhale. The inside people are just gonna do this activity, okay? Inside people are moving the outside people, okay? You're gonna I'll go with you until she comes, okay? Inside people, you're controlling them. Outside people, breathe any way you want. Adam, only twist them on the exhale. Yeah, only twist them on the exhale. That's it. Breathe and feel. Brothers, if you feel better, drop your elbows. Look at this. Drop your elbows, hook each other like this, like elbows. Yeah, do it like that. Good. Now, when you're twisting him, Adam, he's going to be limp. He's just breathing. Your job is going, lifting up, and then that's it. Twist him. Good. If you want to go further, extend the arms. Sue and Jen, same thing. If it's too much for Sue, just hook up like these guys are. Okay? I might have to do that with Andrew. Okay, open up. All right, deep breath in. Back person's just nice and limp. And you're going to send them on a journey. There you go. Come on in. Oh, Reza. Reza. Good, moving and grooving for 10. Good. How's it feeling, boys? Good. Eric, you actually getting a twister?
Yeah, a little tight in the back.
A little tight in the back. 9. Don't worry, he's gonna move you. 8. That's it. Lean into it a little bit more. 7. Right, don't forget to lean a little bit. 2. Really twist them. Right, move their mobility. That's it. Riza, just move them. That's it. Side to side, your job. He's just gonna stay limp. Good, and last one, and exhale side out. Awesome, switch it up. Boys, boys, maybe bolsters. Yeah, stick on bolsters. You'll feel better. Yeah. So now, Sue, you're gonna move her. Okay. All right, crew. Working with our partners, side to side. You're twisted on the exhale. That's right. So lift them up and then twist them on the exhale. That's it. That's it. Move and groove them. Throw them around. Good. Feel the energy. All right, feel the energy. Okay, feel the energy. All right, working with our partners. Getting nice and cozy, nice and comfortable. Breathing and being. That's it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Shake it out. We're going to keep going. Just relax now. Shake it out. Comfortable seated position. Start to breathe together. Find that tandem where one is inhaling, other one's exhaling. Just listen. Right? Just listen to your partner. You can even tap your partner. Say, I'm going first, right? And just let them just wait on the exhale. Find the rhythm. Good. Once you find the rhythm, one of you goes forward on the exhale. Start to walk forward. Yep. This is our square pose. Walking forward, letting them drop, right? Other partner can open up their arms, relax, open up and feel. On the inhale, they lift you up and bring you back, you exhale. And then we flow with it. That's it, brother. That's it. That's it, let it flow. That's it, Eric. That's it, letting it move through your spine. 10. Need to readjust, boys, readjust. 9. 8. That's it, Andrew. Beautiful. That's what I'm looking for. Beautiful. Soul surrender. 6. 5. This one's really good though. 4. Right there. That's a great shot. That's it. 3. 2. That's it. Relax out. Good, Eric. And 1. Okay, awesome. Give your partner a high five. Nicely done. Rolling it out. Come stand on your mats with me, and then I'll chill you out for the last half an hour. All right, so again, in yin yoga, right? In yin yoga, we predominantly work with 2, yep. Okay, let's do a quick battery switch, sure. All right. Yee, a lot of energy. Okay, so again, the activity, right? Good. Okay, so we're gonna go around. Again, we're gonna keep our figure 8 because I'm gonna relax you out. Just keep your figure 8. I just wanna go around the room and get a feel with how we're doing. Like, again, how was the activity? What did you feel? What do you need more of? Where are you tightest? Where can I most help you in the next few weeks? Adam. Okay.
And I need to learn how to loosen that.
Okay.
My hips so I can feel it, but I think it's all coming from my heart.
Yes. And again, the reason why for men, and again, not to put a generalization, do you remember why? It would be, that's correct. Our center of balance for men is in the shoulders. Broad shoulders. For women, broad hips. Okay? Not always, but generalization. Thank you, Adam. Eric, how we doing, brother? How was the activity? What needs work on? Where are you stuck? What's going on? Hips, heart, head.
Great. My hips have always been they're not locked up anymore.
Yeah.
They're kind of halfway there.
Okay.
It's definitely, it's limiting my range of motion a
Yeah.
little bit, but, working with a partner kind of takes you past the point where you
And that's the point. Beautiful. Thank you, brother. I will let Ashley. Yes, yes. I love this combo. I love how I almost tried to pull you apart. No! Very cute. Very cute.
Lower back.
Yeah. Definitely.
The hip work is helping it.
Yeah.
And I also I can feel it in the twists in all my thighs.
Yeah.
And she's fantastic with upper.
Okay.
And I think her hips as well.
Yeah.
Because she twists really deep.
Yeah.
I can feel it pulling me further than I
She's done a lot of yoga, so yeah, she's getting to that almost like all around where everything is getting loose. So good. Sue, definitely the hips. Okay, beautiful. So
I can see it's beginning to open up.
yeah.
I can see that. But just a little.
Okay, we gotta get, but just a little. Beautiful, Sue. Hips. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you, Andrew. Riza. Okay. And the hips. Very good. Okay, so as the heart and hips open, as we do these 6 movements of the spine, the 7th movement is going to unlock that elongation. Okay? So again, I'm going to teach it from standing. We're going to take it onto the ground, but there's 3 parts for head, heart, hips, heart, head, the way I teach it. There's 3 parts to it, okay? There's lying down, okay? If I'm just still like this, what am I activating? My hips, my heart, or my head? That's correct. Why? Because if I'm just being still, I'm just elongating, okay? Okay, beautiful. So you can do all 6 movements here. Call it out when you see it. What's this one? That's correct. What's this one? That's correct. What's this one? That's right. What's this one? Good. What's this one? That's right. What's this one? Amazing. Okay? Now, the second thing where you can do all these movements is from the sitting position. Okay? The sitting position. What's this one? That's right. What's this one? What's this one? Good. What's this one? Hip. What's, if I go, so if I was to go like this, hips and heart, right? Because I'm sinking in my hips and I'm opening up my heart, right? Yeah, okay? Again, this is just a general thing. There's no right or wrong answer other than the fact that you're just kind of seeing what I'm talking about. And what's this one? That's head, exactly. Sitting, right? Okay? What's this one? That's correct. What's this one? Hips. If I was to sit like this, head. This would be head. This would be hips, okay? If I went like this, that's correct, right? Hips and heart, right? But again, predominantly, when you start to see these movements, this is where you start to call it. So now we're in the standing position. So let's open up our hips so we can understand from sitting, from lying down, we can all see it, okay? So what I want you to do, okay, so this is a little bit of martial arts into yoga, okay? So take your feet together. Never forget this because it's a super, so let's take our mat sideways for this one, okay? Just take it a second. Just take your mat sideways because you'll need it sideways. And you'll need it sticky, so take off your towels if you have a towel. So this is funny, every time I teach yoga martial arts, this is always the switch. Go sideways with your mat, right? Because martial arts is, you'll see in a second. More basing in martial arts, okay? All right. All right, good everyone. That's it, get cozy, get comfy. All right, put your feet together. Hey, put your feet together. So remember this always, it's something amazing, you'll never forget it, it's the best. So feet together. First thing you do is you swing your heels out, so you form a triangle, okay? Again, it's loose, don't worry, just remember this step. This is step 1, okay? Step 2, open up your feet. Okay, step 3, open up your heels as far as you can. Step 4, open up your toes, right? Step 5, square your heels as far as you can. Good, stay here. This is your horse stance. Okay, so in martial arts, this is your horse stance, your horse stance. We're all different. This is your horse stance. So now what I want you to do is I want you to bend into your hips, right? Bend into your hips. And I want you to push your tailbone as far forward as you can. That's it. Push your tailbone as far forward as you can. Push, push, push. Come on, Sue. Come on, baby. Tuck it up. That's it. There you go. Right? Now put your hands behind you, and I want you to reach for your back of your legs for 10. Oh, yeah. Feel that. Look forward at me, Jen, because you can fall over in this position. Think of it like a horse. Kia, right? You don't want to go, ah, right? All right? Good. Stay with me. 9. Good. Side to side. That's it. Push tailbone forward. That's it. I know, Sue. I know. Nice and gentle. 8. Right? So anyone who said hips, this is going to kill. Ashley, look at me. All right? You're on a horse. Don't look up. You're going to get bucked. Okay? That's why we call it horse stance. 6. Good. Side to side. Just reaching for the back of your knees. 5. Good. 4. Tailbone forward. 3. Oh, I know. 2. Good. And 1. Beautiful, crew. Flip it. Okay? Flip it. Legs go straight. Hands on your knees. Relax. Okay? Okay? So now you're here. Now I want you to flip your tailbone up by coming down. And as you come down, some of you will be able to touch the ground, some of you won't. Okay? But tailbone up, head down. Okay? Breathe and be for 10. Just let yourself go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, tailbone up, head down. 2, and 1. Beautiful. Let's come back up to center. Good. Bend into those knees. Don't move your feet. Okay? Bend into those knees. Straighten your legs. And now we're going to go side to side with straight legs. That's it. Go side to side. That's it. Try and go as far as you can. And if you practice this every day, you will unlock your hips. No question. Okay? You can do this on the floor. You can do it on the sitting. It's just a little bit more complicated because you got to put a lot more thought into it. But doing it from standing is really good. That's why I said this is the Yin Yoga program. I'm here to give you all the secrets. Right? It's an experience. Right? And this will really, really help. So if you just have a simple warm-up exercise to your yoga, right, this is going to be really good. So you're pushing out that hip. Pushing out that hip. Pushing out that hip. Good. Pushing out that hip. Good. Okay, and like I said, the hip can do all 6 things, but you got to focus on the hips. So we're just focusing on the hips. Now, we're going to sit down just a little bit, and we're going to try and twist from our hip without lifting our feet. So you're going to put your hands here like 2 guns, or your fingers, and you're going to try and see how far you can bring your hips without moving your feet. Okay? Good. See how far? Mine's one side of the knee and close to the other. Now I'm going to go the other way. There it is. Rotate it out. And Adam's like me, he's like a little boy at heart, so right? Right? That's why they say shoot from the hip. This is where the expression comes from. Shoot from the hip. Right? So twist it out. Twist it out. That's your mobility range. Good. In your hip. Awesome. Good. 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 All right. Awesome. So now we only have one more left. What is it? Elongation. So you're going to put your hands on your knees. You're going to sit down like you're squatting at a very dirty toilet. Right? Okay, lift yourself up. Lift yourself up because you're actually riding a horse. Right? You're not hugging the horse, you're riding the horse. And you're going to tilt that tailbone forward as far as you can, like Ken said. You're going to start to sit up. Open your heart. Right? There it is. Elongation. Tuck it. Feel it. You should look in the mirror and see like straight. Right? That'll take time. 10. Push it forward. Keep pushing it forward. 9. It's the opposite of going poop. Right? Tight. Forward. 8. That's it. Sink into it. The more you sink into it, the easier it is. I know it gets harder. Oh yeah. Push it forward. Forward. Yep. Sit. Down. Forward. Yeah. 5. Let's go. 4. 3. Tuck your chin. Yeah, down. 2 and 1. Good. Come up. Shake it out. Shake it out. Okay. So those who have tight hips, It's your homework every day. Tell me how it goes in 7 days, okay? So let's review, okay? We bring our feet together, right? It has to be in horse stance because you need to open them up, right? So again, feet together. What do we start with? 5 steps, yeah. Think of your hand 5 step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you get into 5, you sit down. You practice your first movement, which is anyone you want technically, but I like to go backward first. So you push your tailbone forward, right? And again, Neo in the Matrix, don't look back. Neo in the Matrix, think Neo in the Matrix, right? And then you reach back, grab your back of your knees, and you go side to side. There you go, 10, yeah. Okay, good. Now we go forward, hands on knees, right? And again, dip down. So now tailbone up, right? Head down. Good, then we come up, we go to one side, right? And again, it's about your hip, right? We go to the other side. Again, you don't even need your hands if you don't want to. You can just use your hips, but it is nice to do with the hand. Okay, and then we do our twist, hands on hips, and we see how much mobility we can get in the hips. Okay, good. And then what's our final one? Elongation, right? You gotta zip it up. So in one of the dojos I trained at, I know this is gonna sound gross, but they make you take like a loonie or a toonie and stick it in your butt. Not all the way, just at the cheeks. And you're supposed to do the whole kata, and if the coin drops, 100 push-ups for the class. Yeah. So imagine everyone, they're like, yeah! You know, and it's like, and as soon as you heard that coin, you're like, no! So anyways, tight. Imagine there's a coin there, okay? Okay, so nice and tight, push it forward. And again, there is no down, it's elongation. So your tailbone's back, so you gotta push it forward. Forward as you sit, elongates. Eric, tuck your chin this time, so you feel it through the back of your head. Go as low as you can go. Again, I'm gonna show you how low I could go because I've mastered this movement, you guys haven't. Right, so you actually got to go here till a bow staff rests without falling, and then you have to hold it for 20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, welcome to my world. 10, 9, yeah, let's go up. Adam's got his homework too. Good, check it out. All right? Amazing. Okay, that whole sequence can go for here too, okay? But let's do it first for the hips, unlock those hips. This is again where we start to integrate. All right, lie down on your backs, flip your mats toward me. You have half an hour to down chill. I'm gonna down regulate you. Well done, everyone. We had some fun today, all right? Learning concepts through experience. All right, put that bolster behind you or underneath your hips, whatever you like. For someone like Sue, I feel like under the hips might be better today. Okay, for other ones like Eric and Adam, maybe shoulders. Actually, Eric, if you want to do the reclined bridge one, the one underneath the hips, you can do that one today. Because again, it will feel good. We've already activated. Andrew, same thing. If you want to do the hip one today, so you know when you lie in bridge, throw it underneath you. I'll show you. Come lie down. Come lie down. There you go. Good, and lift your hips. Good, and slide under, there you go. Yeah. Yep, take your time, go to the washroom, no rush. Good, and just starting to relax. All right, letting everything go, letting everything flow. All done, everyone, today. Great work. As we relax, release. And again, proud of all of you, right? Not easy, lots of stuff. But some days it's important because now, once we start hitting the textbook or you start asking your questions, right, we have all this foundation. Right, what's the intention? Right, so for those who want to open up their hips, more forward folds, more backward bends, but again, also more side bends and twists because this is where the complexity is. So wherever there's a lot of complexity with the bones, that's where the muscles follow. Right, and so we're working the muscles around these areas to really open up and articulate. So I'm just waiting on a few more, so just relax here on the ground, take your time, get into your comfortable position. Let's start inhaling through the nose, and exhaling long and strong through the mouth. Deep breath in through nose, and exhaling long and strong through mouth. Relaxing and releasing. In through nose, and exhaling long and strong through mouth. As you be and breathe, in through nose, long and strong through mouth. We're going to be with this for 3 minutes. So just stay with the feeling. Long and strong. As you inhale through the nose, keep exhaling longer and longer through the mouth. That's the focus. The longer you exhale through the mouth, the more you stimulate that which rests you, that which relaxes you, to the point where you don't need it anymore. And you'll just drift into meditation, drift into sleep, or drift into dream. According to the ancient Vedas, there are 3 states of consciousness: waking, dreaming, and sleeping. And the space between these spaces, what makes one the other and the other the one, the transition between these states, waking, dreaming, and sleeping, is meditation. And this is where we're just being. We're not awake, we're not asleep, and we're not dreaming. We're all 3 all at the same time. Or we're all not 3 at the same time. Either way, we move from one to the other day by day. So as you exhale longer and stronger through the mouth, just let this intense relaxation start to take over. Drifting deeper and deeper. Down, down, down towards the ground. Towards the yin. Leaving all that yang behind. All the teachings, all the practices. You don't need to remember anything. It actually shows scientifically that the best way to remember today's class is by consolidating it with sleep. Not thinking about it is what actually allows you to remember it. Remember it in long term. With that, yogis, we're going to start to ujjayi. Deep breath in. And exhale, side out through the mouth. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Don't wait for me. Don't wait for your neighbor. Let's keep going. With each exhale, I want you to exhale the feeling of what you need more of. I want you to let it go. So if you said hips, I want you to just let go of the wanting to open up the hips, the wanting to have better hips. Just let that go. Just by doing what you're doing it. And that's the key. So let's just let go of the wanting. And if it was the heart, just let go of that. Let go of the wanting. You've already done it today. What a great day it was to do it. As you relax and release into it, right? Letting it all go, letting it all flow. Just like the ocean. As you be and breathe. As you be and breathe. Just relaxing, just releasing. Now all together, we're going to do the sound of ah. Ah is the sound of creation. And so we're going to just do a nice, strong ah. It's kind of like being on a roller coaster. So all together, we're going to do it for 3 times. We're going to get all the energy out of our bodies. Deep breath in, follow me. Deep breath in. Pushing it out of the end. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Good. One more deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. And now back to your ujjayi. Close your lips this time. In through nose and out through nose. Like a hum. Like a grunt. Nice and steady. Now we're going to make the sound of E. E is phase, the sound of creation. Then E is like the vowels, A, E. E is the sound of sustenance, or it's like sustainability or consistency. Once it's been created, it's like, what is its life like? So E, what you're gonna do is the biggest smile you can make. It's kind of like being in junior kindergarten, being asked to smile with all your big chiclets, that kind of smile. And then you just make the sound E as strong as you can with the biggest smile you can. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. Last one. Deep breath in and sigh it out. Feel the energy change. They're different. Deep breath in. Be aware of the difference. Exhale, sigh it out. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Good. Just beginning to breathe again. Ujjayi, or long and strong through mouth. Yogi's choice now. Whichever breath you want, just make it long and strong. So I just want to say something before I transition you, which is that was for your head. E, that was for your heart. Now the next one is going to be for the hips. That's O. So to get to O, we're going to do some infinity breathing. Deep breath in through nose. Exhale long and strong through mouth. In through mouth. Out through nose. And in through nose. Out through mouth. In through mouth. Out through nose. In through nose. Out through mouth. In through mouth. And out through nose. Last one. In through nose. Out through mouth. through mouth. And out through nose. All right, we're gonna chant O, long and strong, deep breath in. Deep breath in. Last one. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Deep breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. Good, and slowly, slowly relax your head side to side. Wiggle your fingers like stars. I want you to bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Connecting, feeling. If you're on a bolster on your back, you can come off of it. Just flatten out on the floor. All right, take a deep breath in. A deeper breath out. Good, and when you're ready, I want you to come up to a sitting position. For some of you sitting on a bolster, as you come into your sitting position, I want you to start to move your spine in all 6 directions. Forward and back, side to side, twisting. And I want you to imagine you're like a flower growing toward the light. Okay, so as you sit up on your bolster, I want you to imagine you're like a flower growing toward the light. And you're just growing toward the light, growing upward. That's it, Sue. Come with me. Put your feet on the ground. Sit up. Come even higher. There you go. Down you go. Oh, yeah. That's better. Yeah. Nice. And that's be your flower. Right? That's it. Be your flower. Move the energy. Move the energy. Just move it around. Right? Move the energy. Now take a deep breath in. And I want you to hold the breath, move the energy around. Move it in a freestyle flow. Hold the breath, feel the breath, bring it through you for 10. 9. You can use your arms, you can move, you can bend. Just stay in the seated position and just move your body. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale, side out. Good. Deep breath in. Exhale, side out. One more. Deep breath in. Exhale, side out. Good. Now take your arms behind your head. I want you to do the same thing. Feel, feel, feel. Just move, move, move. Stretch in all 6 directions. That's it. Just stretch and feel. Move your body. Slowly, slowly. Let it stretch. Feel, feel, feel. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out for 3, 2, and 1. All right, awesome, yogis. Deepest breath in. Hold the breath. Move your body for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale, side out. Let everything go. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Good. Now bring your hands together. Create energy in your palms. Create energy in your palms. Good. Let's go really, really fast for 5, 4, 3, 2. And now I just want you to hold the energy, just like my yin and yang on my shirt, like a ball. Just holding the energy. And again, just let your body sway. Let the energy move through you. And just feel the energy. Just feel the energy as if you're holding a small ball. And just feel that energy. You bring your palms together, bring your palms apart. And if you can feel something amazing, and if you can't feel anything amazing, because the feeling of nothing is something, and the feeling of something is something. So either way you're feeling. Once you get that, you get it. Good. Now take your hands together in Namaskar Mudra, prayer position of the heart. Bring those thumbs to your chest. Whisper to yourself, I am whatever you are. Let's say it to the room. I am love. What is yours? I am what? Good. Good. Say it out into the room. I am love. Whatever your intention is. If yours is love, you say love. If yours is not love, what is it? I am peace. Good. Whatever it is, say it to the room one more time. I am love. And with that, yogis, Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace through all of our intentions. And we stay strong on this beautiful path together through light, through love, through learning. Blessings be on this auspicious day. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. That was a beautiful class. Hope you enjoyed it. Of course, there was lots of information, but the best part is it's all recorded, so you can always go back to it. And just remember, 5 steps. Lean back. Go forward. Side to side. Twist. And then, ha. Okay? And if you need a wall, it's really good with a wall too, so you can use that. All right, crew, thank you so much. If you can do me and Kelly a big favor, because we're at week 5, we'd love to know how we're doing. We'd love to hear your gratitude. So it can be constructive, it can be beautiful, just basically a testimonial of your experience with me, with Paola, with Kent, with Kelly. You can be as gushy, as wordy, or you can be as simple as you want. But if you can throw that in the WhatsApp, that would be amazing, because we'd love to just check in on how you're doing and what you think of all of us. And again, it's just a beautiful thing. And if you feel like there's something private, just send it to Kelly directly. You don't have to send it to the group. But most people like just send it to the group. We all kind of feed off the energy, okay? So if you can do that by next week, that would be great, because we're in the halfway point. We're a little bit later than that, but yeah, we're in the energetic halfway point. So lots of love, lots of hugs, everyone. Take all the time you need. Me and Paolo got to pack up. We will see each other soon. Thank you, everyone. You're welcome.